who knew I would make it this far. They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitted for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this, go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing, keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get big and right, cause it can get big and right, cause it can get big and right. Hey, please don't play no games with me, I promise I'm too much. Ay, I can never let up even if you had enough. Ay, this ain't for the faint of heart, we always playing rough. I had enough, it ain't luck. I needed a vision, I needed ambition, I needed a mission to beat a submission with no intermission. I see the collision, the crash in the distance ain't coming off track, no. Now when they ask what's the motive, don't talk about the show them. They all about to see what I mean in the moment. I gotta keep going, I'm shaking the dice and I'm keeping it rolling. They already know. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play it safe. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing, keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get big and right, cause it can get big and right, cause it can get big and right.
All right. Early afternoon, early evening, however you want to look at it. Clap it up one more game. One more game. This one last time. And we can get it in. Shout out to everybody who's in the building, man. Shout out to everybody on X Space, Facebook, YouTube. You know what I mean? Wherever you at, man. Appreciate you stepping into the building here. Hit the like buttons, obviously, when you're walking into the building. Subscribe to the channel. Oh man, hold on 1 second here. Bear with me 1 second. Do I need to? We'll see. You know how the stream goes. I might have to go out and come back in, but it looks like we're good. I'm gonna go with it. Shout out to everybody in the building. We hit that 3,000 subscriber milestone a few days ago. I appreciate everybody who's supporting the channel. You know, I mean, it's a mission. It's a journey. We're heading to the 4,000 subscriber milestone. That's the new goal that we're going to put on the board, man. A weekend of boxing, great boxing this weekend. If you guys tapped in Friday, you saw the Zuffa event. If you tapped in Saturday, you saw the Andy Cruz, Raymond Moratai card. We got a lot to talk about, obviously. There was a horrible decision on the weekend. We're going to talk about that as well. I do have a special guest who's going to be tapping in on the ground, giving us what he saw and how he saw it as he was part of it. You guys know Greg Hackett is definitely in the building. He's definitely in the building. And of course, it is fight week, right, ladies and gentlemen? It is a big fight week, the fight that a lot of us have been waiting on as far as Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson is concerned. Honestly, this weekend is going to be a crazy weekend of boxing. You got Pro Box on Friday. You've got Shakur and Tio on Saturday. You got Xander and Abbas Baharu on Saturday. I mean, obviously those whole undercards. And then Sunday, Zuffa rolls out again with another event on Sunday. So we're watching boxing all weekend. I don't know, man. If you're looking for something, if you're looking for some fights to watch, I'd find it hard to believe. You know, I'd press you to tell me that there's no boxing going on. We got all of that to talk about and then some more. I'm going to go ahead and bring him right in, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to bring him right in. You guys know who it is already, but I'm going to bring in my guy, Greg Hackett, in the building. Greg laid up right now, chilling. You know what I'm saying? I know you're not back. You're not here on the East Coast. You kind of you got out of the I don't know. You coming back to it, so you're gonna have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what your driveway gonna look like when you get back. I don't know what you you got all that to deal with. We got a lot of snow this weekend. But how's the weather out there in Vegas, man? That's where you at right now?
Yeah, it's a little cool. You know what I mean? It's better than what I'm seeing at home, but it's cool. But I'm ready to get out of here anyway. I got shit to do, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Is that like a flight issue? They just weren't flying no flights into
yeah. Yeah, they try not to, have nobody, because them planes get tricky when that, shit ain't clear in the air. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
The ice start building up inside the engines and all that stuff start happening with all that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It can get
Yeah.
complicated. It's best to just sit still and be safe, bro. Enjoy those soft hotel luxurious amenities. How's a continental breakfast treating you? Did you eat good this morning? How you doing?
Everybody keeps saying continental breakfast. I ain't
Oh
seen one yet.
no, diabolical, bro. No
Man, you got to
complimentary cereal with
man, you got to
the
pay
eggs.
for you got to pay for napkins around this motherfucker.
Oh, Dob, I thought they were gonna take care of you better than that, man. Boo on Matchroom, boo.
No,
No,
we've been eating good though. They got good food here, but you got to pay for that shit.
yeah, yeah. Most of the time in the hotel room at this point, is that what we're doing? Are we in the hotel room for the most part? Or are we moving around Vegas and getting it in?
Well, I moved around yesterday and a couple days before that, but today I'm just tired. Like I don't even, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Chilling.
yeah. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt, man. Great weekend of fights. I know you were dialed in the whole time, getting ready for this for Jesse Hart's fight against Khalil Cole. But I mean, did you get an opportunity to still watch boxing? Were you still in the Zuffa? Were you still watching other fights on the card? Were you active in the space like that, or were you just really dialed into what you had going on with Jesse?
Yeah, I was more so locked in. It was tough to kind of pay attention to the other shit going on around it. You know what I mean? I tried to look at little stuff, but it wasn't nothing that I could really lock all the way into. You know what I
No,
mean?
no, I can imagine. I can imagine, man. That's where your mind's got to be, man. Going into this fight right here, I mean, this was an opportunity for Jesse Hart, right? He was in the conversation for potentially even being in a David Benavidez fight earlier last year, and we saw how that happened with the David Morrell situation. But this was an opportunity to fight against Khalil Cole, a familiar fighter, right? This Khalil's like in and out of Philly, right? I know he works out of Jersey, but is he close? He's kind of close with the Philadelphia boxing scene, right?
Well, Khalil, yeah, Khalil, when when you that close to like Jersey, you know what I mean, you definitely gonna come to Philly. He definitely come to Philly to get work and stuff like that. And him and Jesse had sparred a while back, you know what I mean? But yeah, I guess you could say that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this fight comes across your table, and I know you ready for whatever, but this was
Mm.
a definite winnable fight for you guys.
Yeah.
Hindsight says, right? We'll talk about that. But a definitely a winnable fight for Jesse Hart, who was trying to get himself back in the conversation in the light heavyweight division, right? Like we right here with the other guys. And
Right.
this was an opportunity. Khalil Cole was a great opportunity to go ahead and show improve on that opportunity. When do you guys find out about the whole weight thing? Like how did you guys find out about that? How did that work out?
The day of the weigh-in is when it came out. But Jesse was saying days before that he was like, gee, he not gonna make weight. I know it. And
Mm,
why you keep saying that, bro? Why you like I could tell. I be watching him, he not gonna make weight. And then
mm,
I'm thinking, I'm trying to size him up. Of course he got clothes on. I'm trying to size him up. And
mm.
then, when we came in the weigh in, the actual day of the weigh in, Friday, Matchroom was like, yo, he over 8 pounds. We like,
Dang.
damn. And then Jesse was like, man, we still rumbling. So like fuck it. Figure out what y'all gotta figure out. Cause we still rumbling. That
So
was that.
they tell you he's 8 pounds over. Jesse's like, let's get it in. We rumbling. But so you being a trainer at this point, I mean, what's the first thing, as a trainer, you worked on a whole game plan, right? You got a strategy how you're going to approach this fight. Does this alter anything? Does the 8 pounds turn into like we need to do some adjustments? How does that work out for you as far as what you guys are going in to do?
I mean it's not really too many. I'm okay. It's not too many different adjustments you can make. You know what I mean? If the fight is still on, the fight is still on. You
Right,
know what I mean? So
right.
you just gotta go in there and make the best of it.
Do
You know
you
what I mean?
take it into consideration though, at least even if you're not changing the game plan? but are you now aware? What are you aware of? What is 8 pounds on a fighter who's supposed to be agreed upon at 175 coming in at what I guess that's like what 183 or something like that, whatever that number is.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you now? What kind as you're looking at Khalil Cole, what are you taking into consideration as far as like is he not trained? Is he really strong? Is he out of shape? Is he like
Yeah.
what are you thinking about?
Well, I just at that point, I just want to see in the ring what he look like when he come back. You know what I mean? I want to see how he moving. I want to see how he breathing. You know what I mean? How his punches is coming off. And the first thing I noticed was he was trying to be patient because he didn't want to burn himself out. That was what's going through my mind. He trying to be patient so because he don't want to burn himself out. So I'm saying to Jesse, you know what I mean? Put a little something on him, but don't try to go too crazy because he trying to save himself. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want you to go out there and crash out and you start doing too much and you burn yourself out. You know what I mean? So ease him into it. But when you got a guy who know that they strong and they know they got a little bit of the weight advantage and he step into you, you could feel the pressure from his body. You know what I mean? So you can feel his presence and pressure. So you gotta let your hands go. You know what I mean? So
Right.
even though I feel like Khalil Cole wasn't active, he was a little bit effective as far as pressure. He made Jesse throw shots. He made Jesse, have to wrap him up at times. You know what I mean? It was a fight. But I just felt like he didn't do enough to get the win, of course. I don't think Khalil Cole won that fight.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who's saying different. I mean,
Right.
nobody, even close. I mean, matter of fact, everybody's screaming it out from the top of the hills and they're saying robbery. They're not even saying like a bad decision. They're saying this was criminal. Like this was a very one-sided affair. Khalil Cole was very, very reserved to say the least, right? He was not
Right.
letting his hands go. You could tell he was trying to pace himself. He was trying to save himself for an opportunity to do something. And I think that was a great observation with you, right? But at the same time, is there like an onus on Jesse and on you to like work him out, to make him move, to make him be a little bit more active? You know what I'm saying? Are we fainting a little more? Are we stabbing him to the body? Are we going to take advantage of the conditioning at all to kind of put that condition into the test?
Yeah, and that's what the footwork was about.
Mhm.
If you heard the fight, you heard me say, Jesse, keep them feet moving. You know what I'm saying? Keep taking them small steps around the ring. Don't sit in front of him and wait for him. You know what I mean? Keep your feet moving, keep popping your jab. Yeah, you gotta make him open up a little bit. And I feel like that's what we did the first 4 rounds. You know what I mean? Hart was putting hands on him and he got frustrated. He even slammed Jesse Hart in the third round. You know what I mean?
That
So
was crazy.
yeah, so I feel like we was doing our job. You know what I mean? We was doing our job. The only thing that kind of happened that was a little bit unexpected was Jesse got, the way his posture was when he got a little winded. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
At times it looked like he was falling apart. He still was fighting, but it looked like he's falling apart a little bit. But then, he woke up real good in the ninth and the 10th round. So, I'm not gonna say I was happy with the performance, but I couldn't be mad at him because I know the shit we went through with training camp and I know the circumstances we was under. So, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right, and I wanted to talk about that because I did see you yesterday on Cigar Talks. Shout out to Najee and all them over there. And you talked a little bit about he was getting over a little something, right? Like he might have been a little
Yeah.
sick or something early in the camp or something, right?
No, it wasn't no Mike and it wasn't
Oh,
early. It was 2 weeks before the fight. You know what I mean? Going into the week of the fight, he was still trying to beat the flu. You know what I mean? He was taking whatever it was really he had to go like on a natural cleanse type to try to get the flu out of him because you can't be taking like NyQuil and shit like that, and they gonna be piss testing. I mean, so you
right,
can't just be taking all this medicine and shit. So he was just doing natural remedies, trying to beat the flu. He even sparred under that shit. You know what I mean? Didn't look good at all. And he just did whatever he could to get in shape. I mean, as far as getting that illness out of him and getting to the fight.
right. So that was because I noticed that as well. It looked like the conditioning was being tested for Jesse a little bit too in those middle rounds. It looks like the conditioning was being tested. But so let's talk about that slam. So you're sitting. By the way, I texted you while you were in the middle of the fight because you was on your Teddy Atlas. I don't know if you know why I said Teddy Atlas because Teddy Atlas is such a passionate corner guy. Like he's such a
Yeah,
and you were passionate, right? Like you was really How were you feeling? Like, was this a big stage for you? Were you feeling a little bit of the lights on you? Did you feel the need to, like, how did you feel about it being this? Because I don't know. You let me know. Is this your first big event like that, being the head trainer in the corner?
Not that I know, not that I can remember. I don't think it's my first. I've been in some good corners. I don't know. I've been doing this shit for a minute, Clay. So I don't
Right.
know, man. And I'm gonna keep it real. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing like running around with Gabe Rosado. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Gabe is like, I saw a dude. I saw a dude leave his whole family to get a picture with Gabe. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
wow.
So and I ain't trying to take no light off of nobody. And I
Right.
ain't trying to, and I'm not trying to say that in a cocky way where, but I don't really pay attention to the stage part because that's not my job. My job is to make sure the fighter do what he got to do. But when we talk about magnitude of fighters and moments, Gabe Rosado, uh, in New York, Madison, was it Madison Square Garden? Or it might have been Barclay. Barclay, when he fought David Lemieux, that was crazy.
Mm.
That was crazy. You know what I
So
mean?
were you in the corner in the same capacity for that fight? Like, you were in the, like, instructing, like you were the
I
head trainer?
wasn't I wasn't the head trainer, but I had to step on the gas. I had to, you know what I mean, kind of overstep the head trainer and talk my shit because Gabe was fighting like, somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And I
right,
had
right,
to,
right, right.
but that was big for me. That was, I
Right,
believe it was like 10,000 people, you know what I'm saying? And I was younger. I was probably like 28 at the time, 28, 29. You know what I'm saying? And that was a big moment for me because it happened early in my career. And like I said, Gabe was one of he just was one of those fighters. I mean,
right.
everybody paid homage to him. I mean, because how he handled shit. So, n- not to take nothing from Jesse, but I've been here before. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. All right. So I mean, that's something that was a good thing that you would bring into this one. So, how is that dealing with keeping a fighter motivated? You know what I mean? Like, in moments where you're seeing what he did in the ring, but you want him to do more. You're trying to get that energy. What's going through your mind? Like, as you're communicating to me, he's breathing, maybe he's laboring, maybe he's not looking as optimistic as you want him to look during this fight. You know what I mean? There were moments, especially after that slam. What do you say to Jesse? He comes back to the corner. You know what I'm saying? What do you say to him? Do you just ignore it and that don't matter? Or do we address that situation? Like, how do you deal with that?
I mean, you try to keep them level headed because we don't want to fuck this up for ourselves, and we don't want to look like some bullshit.
Right,
So it's mainly like for me, it's mainly like, yo, stay focused. I told you he was gonna do some weird shit. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Now, if we're gonna continue to fight, but don't go out there trying to fight stupid because he fighting stupid. You know what I'm saying? Keep your head, you know what I mean, stay on task, stick with the game plan as much as possible. You know what I mean? Just try not to lose your cool. Because it took a lot out of me. I mean, it took a lot in me to keep me in my chair. You know what I mean? When that happened. Cause I'm like, damn, dog, like
you
if
want to
that's
go
what we
Roger Mayweather on him?
yeah, yeah, like you know what I mean. You kind of thinking about it because you like, yo, but then you look around and you like, this is a professional setting, so you gotta, you know what I mean. You gotta stay in that mood. You feel
All
me?
eyes on me. The cameras is going,
Yeah,
everybody looking
because
and waiting for you.
it's the beginning of the year and that's all they need. You know what I'm saying? That's all they need
Right.
to throw my shit down the drain. You know what I mean? So I can't. I got to keep a cool head, and I need my fighter to keep a cool head because I want him to go out there and still perform. So yeah, you got all kinds of thoughts running through your head, honestly.
Right, 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 right. We don't want to go viral for the wrong reasons, for sure.
Right.
Okay, so there was a midpoint in the round. I don't know what round it was. Maybe fourth, fifth round. I'm not too sure, but I saw Jesse get clipped with the left hand. He got
Yeah.
clipped like right behind the ear,
Right.
and it looked like his equilibrium got kind of thrown off a little bit, and he had to kind of like get it back together, and, what I'm saying, rebound and figure it out. And I don't know if Khalil saw it that much, but he's on his bicycle, he's moving around, he's doing what he needs to do, he's tying him up, he's
Right.
trying. But it looked like it happened kind of early in the round too. I'm not too like mid-range, like there was a lot of time left on the clock.
Right.
So as a trainer, And by the way, I'm watching you. Shout out to YSM because they got a camera on you in the back of you. So I see you like sitting there, but it looks like you just want to jump out your chair. Like it looks like you're there. You got your hand on this like this step or something. You kind of like trying to look up under either the rope or between whatever the trainer is there. But so what are you going through? What are you telling Jesse to do in that moment? Like move around. What? Because I didn't get to hear no sound because I'm calling the fight live. It's silent over here, but I can see you reacting. I can see your body reacting, but I'm wondering, what are you saying? What are you screaming out to Jesse in that moment?
Yeah, well, at that time, I'm telling him to move because, all right, so what I was always taught was if you get buzzed, it'll be moved because you gotta, let me calm down. You move because it's harder to hit a moving target than it is to hit a sitting target. So sometimes guys sit there when they get buzzed and it's no good for them and bad for them. But at the same time, everybody is affected differently when they get hit with a good shot. Some guys, you know, I seen his legs was off a little bit, but I'm telling him to move because I don't want him to get caught with another shot. So that was the main thing when he got caught with a shot.
So when you get him back to the corner, what's happening? You get him. How do you get him together? You know what I'm saying? How do you get him? Like he's shaking up.
You got your team with you. And then what I try to do is I try to remind them of what just happened. Like, yo, you know that. You know what I mean? Don't pay that no mind. Because these things happen for a reason. Every shot you get caught with, it happens for a reason. So I'm trying to remind him, like, yo, you got to get your hands back up. You can't just get caught in there leaning and, you know what I mean, body all over the place and you leaving openness. And, you know, I'm just sticking to the game plan, going back to the game plan. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to really go all over the place with it and, you know, have his mind all scrambled. I'm continuing to tell him to breathe, keep that fresh oxygen coming in your body. You know what I mean? Slowing everything down, processing what just happened and, you know, going out there and making him understand, like, yo, you can't keep giving up opportunities because, you know, they're not trying to give you this fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And there was that understanding, I'm sure, too, coming into the backyard of you know, Khalil Cole, he's a co-main event. Obviously, Eddie Hearn has a lot invested in him. He wants to see him do something. So you already got those things going against you. So he does get it together. I don't know if it was around the sixth, seventh round. Like he got that second gear back. He got that second win back. Now he's back to moving around normally. He's boxing. He's on that jab. I did feel like he was keeping that right hand a little low at times. I was kind of scared that Khalil might, you know what I mean, hook off on him with that left hand, or you know what I mean, especially when Khalil started. I'm not that familiar with Khalil Cole. Is he a switch hitter? Like, is he known for doing what he was doing, which was going from southpaw to orthodox, and it seemed like he was finding some success when he was playing with that right hand, with that lead hand being the right hand. Seemed like he was starting to find that left hand a lot more. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, he is known for that, and we did talk about that, but you know, for me, it wasn't really too much of a difference because he wasn't really successful behind it. You know what I mean? He didn't change the fight around. Jesse got a little winded between 5 and 8. You know what I mean? Then got himself together. So, you know, it really didn't change too much though. He wasn't pressing the issue to the point where he looked like he was gonna stop Jesse Hart. You know what I mean?
Right. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. So I mean, so the fight ends. Jesse finishes the fight strong. I think he took the championship rounds, which I thought was very important, super important in this fight to make sure that we close the show the right way. Make sure that the way we looked on the way out, we close it out.
Right.
So you're thinking what? We won, draw. I mean, what are you thinking? Like easy? Are you feeling good? Like you're like, yo, we pulled this off. We just did this thing. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good because I feel like we won. But at the same time, I know the business and I know there's no investment with Jesse Hart because he's not signed to Matchroom. So I'm saying to myself, all right, maybe they're going to call a draw. I never thought they would give Khalil Cole that fight. He didn't do enough.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. And I seen you do the professional thing. You ran over to the other side. You shook everybody's hand. I was like, look at Greg being all mature and whatnot. Greg's mature. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody's father. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna hold our head up high and we're gonna walk out of here respectful. We can't do nothing about it now. Hey, man. And plus, you know a lot of people. You know Rel. You know people on the other side. So, hey, man, Good
But I
fight,
do
I
that.
guess.
But I do that on all levels because you know what I mean. I know what they went through. They know what we went through. At the end of the day, it's a sport, and at the end of the day, you know what I mean. We gotta respect each other for the sport to continue. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we gotta hurt each other, but at the same time, we gotta respect each other. So yeah, I mean, these same guys, I'm gonna run into them in the gym. I'm gonna run into them at fights. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. It's the game. I'm gonna run into them when they retire. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So you show love. You know what I mean? That's just what we was taught, sportsmanship.
That's gotta be the key. That's gotta be the key, man. So a long walk back to the locker room. Obviously, I'm very disappointed. I can only imagine how disappointed the team was, you was, especially Jesse, the guy who
Yeah.
put the pain in the ring was. So I would ask what's next, right? After something like this, how do we approach this as a team? What do we do? I still think that at the end of the day, the world saw what the world saw.
Yeah.
People saw. Like I said, the streets is talking. Jesse Hart won according to the judgment of the boxing space.
Right.
Nobody is saying. Everybody knows what it is. Any plans, anything? Jesse going back to the drawing board? Is there any kind of momentum we can build off the back of this? Does he get a good fight next? You know what I'm saying? What do you think is next for Jesse?
For me, I think that he will get a call for something respectable. You know what I mean? Somebody good. But at the same time, Jesse, he got a son that that lives in another state, and he wanted to go see his baby boy and chill
Mhm.
with him. You know what I mean? And that's part of his plan. So I gotta be with him on that. When he come
Right.
back, you know what I mean? When he come back, we talk about how he feel and what he want to do. You know what I mean? But I think an opportunity for another. I'm not gonna say a belt or something, but I do believe an opportunity and a good opportunity will be there. You know what I mean? As long as he ready to take it.
Yeah. No doubt, no doubt. So now Khalil Cole going into like I said, I always thought Khalil Cole had a relationship with Philadelphia. Like, isn't he with like under Jerron Boots' promotional company or something? Is he working with
No,
them at
no,
all?
no. What it
Okay.
was is at one time he used to train with them. He trained with them for a little bit. You know what I mean? But then
Okay.
he bounced around a little bit. I don't know why specifically, but he ended up training with Rel, and it looked like it's working out with Rel.
Right. Rel seems like he's working out of Jersey pretty much now, right? He's dealing with the Shakur and him, and he's working with Zay Quinn a little bit too, right? Just a little bit with Zay
Yeah, I
Quinn.
guess. I mean, I don't really know the
Right.
specifics, but I do know he was out in here in Kent with them out in Vegas. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. So you personally, because
Hmm.
there's the boxer trainer side of this conversation, right? That
Hmm.
and you going through that, but then there's the content creator side. There's the boxing enthusiast side, and the guy who talks. Everybody knows one of the fastest growing channels in the YouTube space. Where did you rate Khalil Cole like that going into this fight as far as light heavyweights? Was he an up and coming light heavyweight from your perspective, or did you kind of see these potential flaws in what led to him coming in 8 pounds overweight? That was very unprofessional. Did that change your perspective on him at all, or were you kind of like already on game? Did you already have an understanding? How did you look at Khalil Cole going into the fight, and has that changed the way you look at him on the backside of the fight?
I mean, I already was up on game, of course, because you be around these dudes. You hear stories and shit, and you be around them, and you see things. So of course I was up on game. The thing is though, you wish for the best because you want this situation to be left without any excuses. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And what I mean by that is of course I want this kid to make weight and to be at his best because if we get the win with him being at his best, there's no excuses. You know what I'm saying? Now when him coming in 8 pounds over, 7.5, 8 pounds over, that's almost saying you don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? 2 pounds or lower is like I tried. 3 pounds is like I tried, but I still had something to eat. Four
Mhm.
pounds is like fuck you. 5 pounds was like I been ain't fuck with y'all, fuck you. 6, 7, 8 pounds is like fuck everybody. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I definitely, you know what I mean. I didn't want him to be capable of that, but I knew he was. He could be capable of that. And that was
Mm.
crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was wild. I was shocked at the fight still happened. I thought the fight was gonna get thrown. I didn't think the fight was gonna happen anymore. To be honest with you, I didn't think the fight was gonna happen.
Hmm.
Um, And you can only imagine what an Eddie Hearn is looking at it. Now I'm talking to, by the way, I'm talking to GHB TV right now. You feel me? I'm talking to I'm leaving the boxer training space, and I'm saying, well, from GHB TV's point of view, how does a promoter, what does that say to the promoter, right? Like you said, 6, 7, 8 pounds, that says fuck everybody. Well, I'm assuming that includes the promoter, right? Who put him in as a co-main event. What does that tell Eddie Hearn? And what, historically speaking, well, how does a promoter deal with that?
Well, from my experience with boxing and what I know, I could see Eddie Hearn putting him in something big this next fight. And it's gonna be, you either gonna swim or you're gonna drown.
I got you. Okay, I see exactly what you're saying. You're saying, I got you. You're going to either barbecue or middle. I'm going to put you in a fight that is a 50-50 fight that you could lose without a doubt, and you're going to show me that you're serious about your boxing career by how you do and how you prepare and get ready for this fight.
Yeah, because this isn't this is the first time this kid came in overweight, so we can't keep having these issues. So all right, I like you because you are a tough kid, you can fight, but I got to make some money too. Right.
So you're anticipating probably his next fight is going to be a big fight. He's gonna put him in a big fight probably next, or a very good chance probably he's going to be in a big fight.
I'm thinking like something like Ben Whitaker.
Me too. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking Ben Whitaker for sure, or maybe Ezra, or Ezra Taylor, or not Najee. Even though I think Najee would be a great fight, but I don't think Najee's a big fight. You know what I'm saying?
But that would be a good fight.
A great fight. That'd be a great fight. That was a fight I was actually looking forward to seeing. I wanted to see Khalil Cole against these type of fighters. But it is what it is, man. I thought on the night, as far as his performance was concerned, what did you think of his performance? He lost, obviously. You feel like he lost, but what do you think? Yeah, did you think like anything?
I thought it was lazy. It was a lazy performance. A guy that strong should be ripping, because Khalil Cole is strong. You know what I mean? I've been in the ring with him before. He's strong.
Yeah.
And I know I'm a lot smaller than both of them, but height-wise. But I just was expecting more hands to be let go. You know what I mean? I thought he would be really bombing shots and really going to the body and really moving his head and really just working. But I just, that wasn't the vibe.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't the vibe. Hey man, I was listening to the sound bites, the seafood boil. You got these, bro. You're a funny dude. Like, you're not even playing. Like, who you are on this YouTube space is who you are in real life. You said something. You had a line. I don't even know if you remember, because it's probably coming out so fast and just coming out so natural. You don't even know that you having these moments. But there's a guy. Matter of fact, I want to show you something. There was a guy across from you. And he must have been some sort of. He was working with the fight. I'm gonna show you this video. Yeah. He's looking at you because you talking to Jesse, right? You moving. He's looking at you like. And I thought it was interesting because I know this guy's seen a lot of trainers working. I know he's seen it, but he saw something new where he was just like, "Yo, this dude's on fire." I'm gonna pull it up real quick. You tell me what's going on in this moment real quick right here. And you know what I mean? You on the ground. You let me know what's going on right here. Hold up. Shout out to YSM. This is YSM video right here. Let's go into this a little bit right here. Tell me what's going on. First of all, you see him right now, right? You already see him, right?
You talking about the white boy?
Yeah, you see the white boy right there, right? You already see him, right? So he's dialed into you this whole time. I'm watching. The whole time he's looking at you. He's got a job to do, but here he is. Let's see what's going on here.
You know you had that seafood boy. Side to side. Go hard.
What happens here? Ooh, what happens here?
I think Hart landed a right hand down the middle. They was in the middle of the ring too.
Right, because he gets up too. He gets up.
Yeah.
Right? Something happens in there. He gets up, but you hit him with the seafood boil. Bro, you're just moving. What's going on in your head, bro, while you doing this corner work? And it looked like it was kind of quiet in there, right? So was that a good thing? Did you feel like, man, he could really hear me? Were you trying to take advantage of that?
Oh, for sure, yeah. When the volume's down, I can orchestrate. I can do what I got to do. You know what I mean? And it's not too much interrupting me, even though it is people in the building. It's not too
Right.
much. It's not too much interrupting me. Matter of fact, that might have been the slam. That might have
Was
been the
that?
slam.
That's what I was gonna say. Was that the slam?
Yeah, yeah. Because I heard that thump. Yeah, that might have been the slam. Matter of fact. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought it was. That's why I was like, what happened there? Was that? I thought it was a slam, but I wanted you to tell me what happened right there. So you see him get Sam. You're like, ooh,
Yeah, like
Billy,
ooh, what the like ooh, like
Billy.
what the fuck? Yeah.
Hey man, you. But look, hold on. Let me go back to it real quick because now you're giving instructions. You get past it. I think that Philly came out. You know, when something happens crazy, everybody kind of react. At first, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I got a fighter in the ring. Let me get them together. So let's see what happens at this point. Hold on a second. Let's see what happens right here. Hold on. So now you see the guy comes out because he already sees you about to jump out your seat potentially. He knows it can get bad. The Roger
Yeah.
Mayweather is in full effect. That's an experienced guy right there who's just in case. Let me get in front of him because it can go left. But so boom.
Stay sharp.
He was
You let
trying
him know you good. Yo, you good, OG. I ain't doing nothing. I got you, bro.
but and he was telling me don't get up, but he was also telling me like you're not allowed to coach like why they they broken up, which I don't understand, but it is what it is.
Oh, you're not allowed. What? Dive into that a
So
little bit. What?
so if a guy get hit with all right, so say a guy get say like there's a foul or something like that with the slam, and the referee is trying to conduct the fighters and put them in the neutral corners, and he trying to talk to them. They tell you that you're not allowed to coach while he's doing what he got to do in the ring, which
Okay.
it don't make no sense because everybody yelling anyway.
Yeah, I can see. Like, I know when they come to the corner, like let's say you got something happen with their mouthpiece, or you got to adjust them.
Yeah.
They say ain't no communication there. But yeah, man, that was kind of weird though.
Yeah, but the
But
thing is, why not? That's weird. Why not?
yeah. I mean, it's not like you can't if you want to. Like, it's like everybody can hear me. Anyway. It is what it is, right? So now you chilling. You got to wait for Jesse to get it together before you can even get active right now. And you trying to be patient, but you still trying to slide in a word or two there. You still trying to get in what you can get in. Like you
Right.
still working. Let's see what happens. Now, Greg, you turning the hat around. You're rocking back and forth in the chair.
Yeah.
You're doing everything except for saying something, because I know you want to say something. You can tell you want to say something, but you moving the hat around. You done turned it around 2-3 times. You're rocking in the chair. What's going on in your mind? What are you waiting on before you can get back to what you was doing? What are you waiting on? Is the ref going to give you permission, or are you waiting on the action? What are you waiting on?
Yeah, the inspector, the one in the all black, he's trying to tell me basically like when they get back to action, then you can start coaching. So meanwhile, I'm trying to process everything that just happened, and I really want to say to Hart, slam him, like go ahead and slam him now, like what I'm saying, like what the fuck?
Wait a second, but Greg, if you say that,
Yeah,
I mean,
can't say that. Yeah, of course.
Do you think that could have slipped out if that pause didn't happen? Because that moment of clarity that with that guy making sure you're not saying nothing. Do you think like instinctively, if that wasn't there, could you have reacted to it that way?
I mean, I think so, and I also think it's just the experience. Me telling myself, you can't do that right now. Like you can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Even though I want to.
No doubt, man. It was an action-packed night for you, man. We enjoyed it. Obviously, I always say Greg Hackett is part of this community. I mean, you really part of that community. You came over here. You're a boxer trainer who does YouTube. You're not a YouTuber who does boxing. You know what I'm saying? It goes the other way, but
right.
we always look at you as a representation. I was definitely just as excited to see you on the TV screen. I was just excited to know that I was super excited for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah. So I was rooting for Jesse Hart off the strength of you. Straight up. I'm not going to lie. Shout out to Jesse Hart, but I just wanted Greg Hackett to win. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it was all about. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So
Appreciate that.
no doubt, no doubt. So look, man, I do want to get some context to the event. Did you get a chance now that you've been in the hotel, you've been chilling, you can't do nothing else? Have you caught the fights? Did you get a chance to go back and catch the Andy Cruz Raymond Mortala fight? Did you catch any of the young bulls, the Omari Jones, the Zaquins? Did you catch any of those fights? Or you get an opportunity?
I didn't. I didn't get to watch the full Andy Cruz fight. I did watch Omari Jones, and I did watch Zaquin Moses, and I watched Madrimov.
Okay. So I definitely want to know, because I thought all those fights were very interesting. We talked about it before, but Omari Jones, I'm going to talk about him right now because he is special.
Yeah.
I like what I'm seeing from him. He's getting better. That left hand, he's dangerous on the jab, on the hooks, the check hooks. He's controlling the energy. How do you feel about Omari Jones's performance?
I like Omari Jones. He kind of give me a little bit of Tommy Hearns, a little bit with the height. But I want to see him be just as mean as Tommy Hearns. You know what I mean? I think he could really cause some waves if he, step on the gas a little more, sit down on the shots a little more, just be a little bit more aggressive, behind his jab. But I like his boxing ability. I like his demeanor. And he a cool person. And his squad around him is cool. You know what I mean? So I think he gonna be a good fighter, man. And let's be real though. That was a real test in front of him, because that guy wasn't coming to lose. That was an undefeated fighter from Pittsburgh. And, I learned as an amateur, Pittsburgh fighters are very strong because they train on hills. You know what I mean? They live on hills. So they when they run hills and shit like that. They in the mountains and shit. So them dudes be strong. So he ain't had no sucker in front of him. Dude might not have been the best skilled fighter in the world, but he had an understanding of what boxing is, and he tried to make the fight difficult for Amari Jones. But Amari Jones, he graduated a little bit as far as a tough opponent. You know what I mean? And learning. You know what I'm saying? You can't knock everybody out, and you're not going to knock everybody out. So when you had those type of nights right there that Amari Jones had, those are the best nights, because those are the nights you're going to learn the most about yourself in the ring.
I agree. I think those were great rounds for Omari Jones to get in, man. Special fighter, man. Special fighter. Zaquin Moses, we've been watching him on this journey, right? We all know him to be Shakur's little cousin, and people, he has big shoes to fill in, to say the least, right? He comes from a good cloth in the boxing game. People really respect what's coming out of Wally Moses' gym, specifically with Shakur. So he has that pressure. He had a game opponent in front of him, right? An Argentinian man who was bringing that Maidana, Gustavo Lemos energy, just pressing him and working him a lot against the ropes. But he goes a full 6 rounds? Was this a 6-round fight?
I believe right? 6. Yep.
Right. He goes a full 6. What do you think about Zaquin?
I like Zaquin. I like him as a person, and I like his fight game. I just think that he need to be a little meaner. I think he got a punch. I think he actually has a punch, but he's not being active enough. He's bouncing combinations, but I think he got to bite down on that mouthpiece a little more. You know what I mean? Really get into hurting these dudes. And see, what they don't understand is when you younger, your energy level is higher. Use the energy. Like these young cats be trying to reserve themselves. Like, bro, this is a 6-round fight. Like, go out there and rip. You know what I mean? Let that shit fly. You know what I mean? But I can understand not wanting to get caught. I can understand wanting to win clean. I can understand wanting to be pretty and all that. I get it. But at the same time, man, if you got a chance to really go in there and hurt something, go ahead and get it off, man, because you ain't gonna do nothing but build your catalog, and people just, you know what I mean? They just gonna look at you in a different light when you knocking dudes out or when you stopping them. And I'm not saying look for the knockout, but when you really putting your hands together and you out there really stepping on the gas, you know what I mean? You could end up stopping the guy. You know what I mean? So at least see if you can get him out of there when you on that level. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Young Bulls, the young Bulls in the development stage, man. I thought those were great rounds for him. To get some rounds in, right? Good fighter, good opposition. Something to go back and work on. Like you said, test your grit, find out where you are. And let's see. Makes us more excited for the next fight, right? Like, let's see what he's gonna do now. Now that he's been in front of this type of opponent, he's being moved correctly. So Israel Madrimov makes his return. Everybody was rumoring that he was going to do this fight at 160 pounds. They said it was going to be a middleweight fight. But it wasn't, right? This was a 154 from what you understood. This was a junior middleweight.
Yeah, well, he came in a little heavier. He was 56 and his opponent was 57. So,
right. Okay.
It was just directly right in between. I'm okay.
They keep checking on you, man. They checking on you.
Yeah. You better bring me some food.
That part.
If you want to check on me.
Exactly. But so Israel Madrimov, last time we saw Israel Madrimov, Greg, we saw him in the ring with Virgil Ortiz. He lost that fight. The second half of that fight, very difficult for him. Looked like he was laboring. Sure. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Ladies, salute to everybody in the building, man. I know I haven't acknowledged you guys. I apologize. I got right into it with Greg, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Fighting Words with Bang in the building. Bang, I got to get you up here, man. You the next one. I got to get you up here. We're going to talk. Matter of fact, I'm going to literally call you when I get off of this. I'm literally going to call you. But so you back?
G? Yeah, my bad, bro.
No problem. Hey, no problem at all, man. Israel Madrimov, last time we saw him against Virgil Ortiz Jr., second half of that fight, the conditioning looked bad. You know what I mean? People credit that to Virgil attacking the body, a good body attack by him, and whatever it was. We remembered Israel Madrimov from the fight he had with Terrence Crawford. Everybody kind of had high expectations for him because even though he lost the fight, he competed with Crawford in a way we haven't seen Crawford get that kind of opponent in front of him. And we're talking about a Crawford who is in his next fight, schools Canelo Alvarez, right? So that always gave Israel Madrimov the benefit of the doubt, right? We always gave him grace. I gave him grace for the Virgil Ortiz fight. Man, I'm saying how I felt. How did you feel from that on that Virgil Ortiz fight? Did you give him grace? Did you take into consideration his conditioning and the upper respiratory infection he was healing up from, or it's just boxing and hey, we don't make excuses?
Well, you know what was interesting? I seen Madrimov at the weigh-in, and I didn't know Madrimov was on the card. Well, I saw him at the press conference, and I didn't know he was on the card. So when I seen him, I'm like, that looked like Madrimov. And then when he walked up, the closer, me and him shook hands, and I said, what's up to him or whatever. I'm like, yo, he not that big. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw that, and then I think about the fight with Virgil, I think about Bud and all. I'm like, all right, this dude, I give him a little more respect because I thought he was a lot bigger guy. He really not that big. You know what I mean? So after seeing him in person, I got a different respect for him for sure. Yeah.
So so I mean, you got even more respect. That's what it sounds like you're saying, like even more than you had, right?
Right.
So what did you think with the Virgil performance? How did you rate the Virgil performance when like strengths, weaknesses? What did you think about that performance coming off of a Terrence Crawford performance that was a good performance? There was some people arguing that he beat Terrence. That wasn't me. People were actually saying that they thought he might have won that fight. Yeah. Eddie Hearn also argued he thought that the fight was super close and he thought he could have won it. But what did you rate Israel Madrimov on the back end of the Virgil Ortiz fight? You know what I'm trying to say? Like after that loss, were you like, oh man, that dude's hype? Or how'd you look at it, especially from a boxer trainer, somebody who's real close to the sport? What did you see?
What I realized also about Madrimov after the Virgil Ortiz fight is Madrimov is physically a specimen, meaning he's stronger than he looks, right? He's stronger than he looks, but his boxing skills are limited. You know what I mean? What he's able to do is limited because his rhythm offsets what he's trying to do, his own rhythm. You know what I mean? And I could tell he's really not super educated on the jab.
Right.
You know what I mean? He don't really understand what a jab is. He jabbed because somebody told him to jab, but he don't really understand what a jab is. You know what I'm saying? I think if you put a jab on Madrimov and you work on his shot selection, I think he's a better fighter. Because to go up against a Bud Crawford and Virgil Ortiz and you do the rounds, I mean, he definitely got something, but it needs to be molded.
Right. That makes sense, man. So this is his big return. You know what I mean? I heard he had some injuries he might have been tending to that he got fixed and everything like that. So this is 100% Israel Madrimov coming into this fight. David Luis Salazar, I want to say, is the guy he got in the ring with. This guy, I guess, I feel like this guy came up from 147, right? Or he was really down
Yeah,
there. Like,
he did look a little bloated though. I don't know what weight he was
yeah,
already, but he did look a little bloated. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, he looked a little fat. You know what I'm saying? He looked a little fat in the ring. So it was like, is he in the right weight class? But regardless, Madrimov, boxing, moving around, irky jerky. That rhymes with Madrimov today. People say that a lot when they say Madrimov. They bring up the irky jerky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The jumping around, the way he likes to move. Seeing that fight, what did you see in Madrimov? Did you see improvements? Did you see, is it the same old thing? Is it the conditioning? Was that better? What do you think about his overall performance?
I don't think he treated this fight like he treated the other fights. Meaning mentally, I don't think he was there 100% because I think he looked at this guy as a smaller tier guy, and I'm supposed to knock this guy out. And I think that's what he was kind of focused on. Um, he didn't move as much as I think he did in the other fights. You know what I mean? And I think that's due to the respect level. But I would really like to work with Majimov because I think his left hand just need a lot of work, bro. He do a lot with his right hand, but he do a lot of jumping in, and that really throws him off, and he don't understand it, and I can tell by watching him fight. But that's just the way he fight. You know what I mean? He been fighting like that for so long that it's like, this is what I do. You know what I mean? He was putting some work on that board, but he should have stopped that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he almost did in the last round, right? He finally did clip him, and he looked like he kind of, he had an opportunity to do it, but he didn't close the show out. But he's here. He gets his victory. We'll see what he does next at 154. Zuffa Boxing Z01 rolled out Friday night. Did you get an opportunity to take a look at anything going on over there?
Nah, I saw like just little clips. I ain't really get to check nothing out on Zuffa.
Right. Where are you at on Zuffa? As far as like before, because I know, listen, whenever I bring up Zuffa, you can't say Zuffa without Dana White. And I know the boxing space is reserved on Dana. But that being said, as a boxer trainer, you got young fighters that you're bringing up in the game that you're training. You guys are always looking for opportunities for these young fighters, right? You're looking for opportunities for them.
Right.
From that perspective, Zuffa Boxing rolling out, good, bad, indifferent. How do you feel in general about the idea of Zuffa Boxing and what it could provide? What are you thinking about it?
I think I like Zuffa for the idea of, they looking to pick up fresh talent, guys we don't know. You know what I'm saying? And they not all the way basing it on popularity because some of those guys they got, we ain't seen in a while or we never heard of. And I like that. But the Dana White shit, you got to keep a close eye on him. You know what I mean? You never know with Dana White. But I do like the idea of it because it's a new platform for these fighters to to get some recognition.
Right. I agree with you, and I think that's what it's about. I try to tell people like it ain't about Dana. Nobody's trying to sit out here and vouch for Dana as far as like Dana's a good guy. You guys got him wrong. I don't know Dana. Listen. I don't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? That's not what it's about. What it is about though is the broadcast network deal. Boxing coming back to a form of television, right? There was a lot of commercials running in the show. A lot of that's money, right? The commercials is money. A whole lot of commercials running. You're gonna see Zuffa Boxing running on commercial ads during football games. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna start seeing Zuffa involved in whatever CBS, Paramount is involved in. The marketing of Zuffa is now a vested interest of Paramount. So fighters getting that traffic and that algorithm. And I think that's a good thing. But we got to wait and see a lot of stuff. And I'm sure there's going to be some stumps. There's going to be some issues that pop up. We're going to be like, but hey, you know what I mean? So goes, you know what I mean? so goes the business of boxing and the business of anything you're trying to build up. The question is going to be, can they adjust, right? Can they fix it, address whatever it is, fix it, make it better, and then hopefully when it's all said and done, this ends up being something legitimate and valid for the boxing space, right?
Right.
Good fights on there. If you didn't see any, I would advise you to catch the Julian Rodriguez, Kane Sandoval fight. That was a crazy fight. And also the young bull, Robert Merriweather. Are you familiar with Robert Merriweather?
Yeah, I heard of him before.
I saw him fight
on a Pro Box card, I believe.
Robert Merriweather, man. Hey, man. Hey, man. Say, man. Shout out to my guy ETB. Hey, man. Say, man. Hey, I like what I saw. I want to see more. He's in that 130-pound division. You got all those, the Camille Moultons, the Zaquins, that little generation coming up right now. The Jamal Harveys. You know what I'm saying? We got the next generation of boxing coming up. What do you think about this new generation, man? Is it refreshing? How do you feel about this new generation coming up? Like, is there a lot of up and coming stars that you're interested in? Anybody that you dialed into right now? The Amari Jones, anybody who you looking at right now?
Yeah, I got a few guys I like. I like Camille Moulton for sure. I like Amari Jones for sure. Well, I like all the young guys, man, because you know why? Sometimes when they young, that be the best part of the career because you seeing them when they hungry. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
And that's some of them. They gonna separate themselves once they start really fighting, like getting in, bigger fights. But in the
right,
early part, it's hard not to like them in the early parts of their career because, they up and coming. They fighting hard. You know what I mean? They
right.
hungry. You know what I mean? They still humble. You know what I'm saying? So I like
Yeah,
all the young guys, man. I like Zaquin Moses. I like Jabril Noble out of Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying?
Jabril. Yep.
We got a bunch of guys, man. It's a bunch of young guys. Bunch of them.
Yeah. No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, this new generation. I'm down with this next generation. So it is fight week. It is fight week. Are you dialed in? Are you ready? It's fight week,
Yeah,
man. It's going. This is
yeah,
the big fight week, though, right? This is the big fight week.
yeah. This is a good, hell of a card, man. I'm hopefully the weather is cool and I can make it to New York. I want to see them joints live.
Okay. I think we already know you're leaning with Shakur on this one. You think Shakur is going to carry it on this one.
Yeah,
I'm noticing Tiafimo trying to embrace this mature role. He's trying to get out of
yeah,
the antics, and the interviews are getting very. I like it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't know what that translates into as far as him in the ring. I think he's taking the fight real serious, but I'm leaning towards Shakur as well. Xander Zayas, Abbas Baharu. Have you spoken on that fight yet? What you think was going to happen in that fight? I haven't heard you talk about that one.
To be honest, I like Shakur and Tio. I like Keyshawn and Jermaine. I
Mm-hmm.
like Shoo
Right.
and Castro. I like all the fights, right? But the
Mm-hmm.
most intriguing fight, I believe, is that fight with Xander Zayas and Abbas Barraou. I think that's the one that got the mystery, got the question mark on the box.
Right.
That's the mystery box.
I'm 100% with you on this one. By the way, if you don't know, you can catch that. I'm saying this as an announcement because they've done such a horrible job of marketing that fight. You can catch it on Tubi. It is going to be on Tubi officially. Xander Zayas and Baharu is going to be on Tubi. That's what the fight's going to be. If you didn't know, because I know a lot of people are asking, it's going to be on ESPN. Is it going to be on Facebook? Is it going to be some kind of private pay-per-view type of model? Because Top Rank's done a horrible job letting the world know where that fight is going to be at. So Tubi's where it's going to be, man. And it's free. I know. But
Hmm.
that's where it's going to be, man. So it's free. It's a free app. You know what I mean?
Hold
No
up, which
charge.
one is on Tubi?
Xander Zayas and Abbas Baharu.
Oh,
It's
I'll
on Tubi.
take it. I'll take
Yeah,
it.
right.
Yeah, fuck that. I'll take it.
Exactly, man. You know what I'm saying? And Roku too. Shout out to King for Life. Roku's gonna have it as well. Man. So shout out to Top Rank. Hope they figure that out. Well, but more importantly, that's how we can see the fight, and it's for free. It is what it is. What else is going on? That's about it. I don't want to hold you up, man. I know you're doing your thing. I know people are calling you, moving around. I really appreciate you. Stopping by the channel that way, especially. I know you got so much going on. You know what I'm saying? So this was an opportune moment, man, to get that on the ground reaction to all the politics, man. The politics is. Oh yeah, well, Andy Cruz and Raymond Mortalo. How did you feel about that fight? How do you feel about the decision? First of all, are you okay?
I saw like the last half of the fight. I didn't get to see the entire fight from beginning to end. But
Mhm.
from what I saw, Miratalo was just the bigger guy, the more active guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To sum it up, he just looked like he was bigger and more active. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That being said, something came up very interesting in the conversation of between Raymond Mortala speaking on the experience of being in the ring with Andy Cruz. He said, man, he's just too small. He's just not punching like that. That's what from Raymond Mortala. This is at the end of the fight, right? He said he's too small. And even though I know I'm not expecting him to celebrate him in a crazy way, I've been trying to figure out the dynamic of that relationship between Andy Cruz and Bozy Ennis, right? And I say to myself, the way Bozy is training Andy, is Andy built? You know what I'm saying? Is he sturdy enough to deal with the consequences of catching punches, shooting, getting hit clean by big punches like Raymond Mortala? Is that a good fit for him? But when he spoke about the size thing, is it the weight class? Might it be better for Andy Cruz to go down to 130? Is that what the problem is? Is like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, is it really not that? But the other thing, did Raymond Mortala, did you hear about that? About Raymond Mortala saying that?
Yeah, when you look at the fight, Muratalo look a lot bigger. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I think the fact that Andy Cruz is being fast tracked the way he is, for one, I don't think it's wrong because he's 30 years old. But I do think 130 would have fitted him a little better because those guys are more his size. You know what I'm saying? Not that 5 pounds is too far away, but what I'm trying to say is he would have made 130 would have been more of a, exercise for him. Like he would have been able to really exercise his rights at 30 and really, learn the pro game at a lower weight class, then going up to 35. You know what I'm saying? So I think he would have got educated more on the pro game at 30. I think it would have been better for him that way, and then took him up to 35. You know what I mean? But we never know what he go through with the weight. You know what I mean? Just because a guy don't look heavy, you know what I mean? You just never know. Or maybe you just never know how he feel.
Right.
And like Bang said, is Andy too small or is Muratala too big?
For sure, because Mortala's definitely talking about going up to 140, right? He's talking about he's ready to go to 140. So, yeah, man, all the above, man. If there was a perfect world, is there a fight you'd like to see Andy Cruz in next to kind of like figure it out with him? Is there a matchup you think kind of makes more sense for him coming off a very competitive fight like this one?
I mean, Andy Cruz is one of them guys, man. He gonna give anybody trouble, and it's gonna be competitive every time because he's his caliber. I know one thing, you're gonna see him in the mix because he in the mix.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I
he's one
mean?
of them.
Yeah, so it
That
don't
fight
really
was a fight
matter.
of the year candidate, in my opinion, and I think Andy don't got nothing to hold his head down about. I think nobody's trying to play with him like that. Still,
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. It could be anybody.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. When Raymond Mortala spoke on that, I was like, "Damn, is that what it is?" Because it's for me. I've been trying to put my finger on the pulse of what it is that got my spider senses going off about Andy, because I like him, but I just feel like when he's in that ring, Greg, I feel like he's in danger. Does that make sense? Like every fighter's in danger. You know what I'm saying? It's a dangerous sport, but with him, there's a little nervousness about, like, you know what I mean? Like, I hope he don't get hit too clean, because I don't know what it is, but it feels like the puncher, it feels like he's a small guy in there. Like, it feels like he's kind of like Lomachenko at 135 a little bit, right? Like, if that makes any sense. Like, Lomachenko's nice, but did he bite off more than he could chew at 135? You know what I'm saying? He looked all right with Devin. He looked all right with Jermaine. He looked all, but he's looking like he's on the verge of getting clipped in that division, and maybe he might need to consider going back down to 130.
Well, those guys that's a little undersized for the weight classes, they just always got to work harder. You know what I mean? When you're a little smaller, when your bone density isn't that crazy, and you're not as muscular, you know what I mean? You got to work a little harder. That's all.
Yeah, no doubt. I got a question here in the chat here. JR Spock says, can you ask Greg which promotion will be the first to be bought out, merged with Zuffa? Oh, what's Greg gonna say? What you got to say to that, Greg?
I mean, I feel like if you think about boxing, it's two options Zuffa got. They got to go either with all the guys that's not signed and just build their own thing, or you know what I mean, you mix with the guys that sign. You know what I mean? But as far as who gonna be first, I don't know. It depends on what kind of deal they got. Depend on the budget. The budget always matters.
Yeah. Toledo Trice says Albert Bell. What you think about Albert Bell and Andy Cruz? He wants out. He's looking for Albert Bell to get an opportunity, man. He thinks Albert Bell is getting ducked and overlooked, man. Is that a fight you think that makes sense for Andy Cruz and Albert Bell?
Yeah, but the thing is with Albert Bell is how active has he been on that level?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know Albert Bell got a lot of fights, but not really of this caliber. You know what I mean? But guess what? He's ready because when are you going to be ready?
Exactly. When that phone ring, you better be ready. If you ain't get ready, you better stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.
Yes,
no
sir.
doubt. No doubt. All right, family. I know you got a little time, or you trying to move around. I know.
I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I ain't even eat yet.
I figured it, man. I want you to go ahead and get to it, man. I appreciate you stopping in, man. Yo, I gotta come in and do a Sunday dinner with you and with Bang. I'm gonna call Bang up, bro. I'm gonna call Bang up, man. It's all right. I want to get in there. I think that I can moderate a good chemistry between y'all. Let y'all really cook. You know what I'm saying, and roll out the topics. Help roll out the topics for you guys a little bit, man. I think you guys.
Sure.
I definitely would like to get that look. You know what I'm saying? Get that look up there at least one Sunday, one of these Sundays.
Hey, long as you don't mind a little bit of weed smoke and all that, you good.
I'm good, family. I'm good, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't smoking about 5 years, 6 years. I drive trucks, but I used to be all day long, man. I'm good, man. Let's take it back.
All right.
All right, family. I appreciate you, man. Greg Hackett, everybody.
Salute
to the OG, man. Peace. Yeah, guys, man, that was a good conversation with my guy, man. You know what I am gonna do though is I'm gonna put that link out there. And I want to build with the community, you know what I'm saying? So definitely hit that link. If you know what I'm saying? If you want to come up, hit the link. It was interesting. That Andy Cruz conversation for me is a real one because with Andy Cruz, you know, I've questioned the whole entire Bozy Ennis thing with Andy Cruz, guys. I really have. And it's not to criticize Bozy Ennis. I know a lot of people would rather it be that. They'd like to take it that. But that's not what it is. It's just that different strokes with different folks. Sometimes things just don't fit. And I questioned if that was a good fit for Andy Cruz. But what Raymond Moratala said the other night was a very interesting point of perspective, right? When he said that guy's just too small and the punches just weren't hitting like that, I was like, damn, I never thought about that. Is Andy Cruz too small for the 135-pound division? Is he just not going to be able to get that power where he needs to get that power up in order to be able to really execute what Bozy, I think, is trying to help him execute? What's good, Therese? What's good with you, family?
Yow.
What's good, man? I try to plug Albert Bell in and try to get him a fight, man. I don't know, man. What do you think about that fight? Albert Bell and Andy Cruz. What you think about that?
That's the fight, man. We need that fight. It makes sense, man. It's perfect timing. You see me?
Yeah.
Andy Cruz is just in there. He got his title shot. He came up short. I want my guy to get a title shot. It's perfect. Why not give us Andy Cruz? It's perfect. We'll have a gold medalist on our resume. Perfect. Yeah. So,
and that puts you right in position in a lot of conversations because obviously Andy was just in the conversation of fighting a Shakur or unifying. A lot of people favored him to win that fight with Raymond Moratala. Most people, to be honest with you, favored him to win that fight. So Albert Bell gets a fight with Andy Cruz and gets that win under his belt, man. That's a good look for Albert Bell, man, for sure.
Exactly. But I don't like this speak of Andy Cruz being too small for 135. I don't like it one bit. I feel like motherfuckers is making an excuse for gang. He wasn't too small going, like you just said, he was favored going into the fight. He wasn't too small going into the motherfucker. Now all of a sudden he get beat on. Now he too small. No. I don't like it. It's because if anything, I was hearing that more like I heard you say, what was it? Bang, somebody in the comments said, it's the other way around. Raymond Moratala, I've been hearing him going up talking about 140 for a while. That's what it is. It ain't Andy Cruz too small. Stop giving him outs. He's not good enough. He's an amateur. He's got amateur skills. He does amateurish shit out there. He's solid and shit like this, but nah, man.
We're not doing that. We're not giving excuses.
Yeah, we're not giving him no outs. No, fuck the dumb shit. We're not giving him no outs.
So Andy Cruz goes down to 130. You're disappointed. You feel some kind of way about that?
I feel some kind of way. I feel like you're running from smoke. Everybody tells me that 135 and 140 is the they have all the names.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you be running from a division where Tank is in? Who the fuck? If there's no fight that's bigger than Tank at 130, I don't feel like you should be. Why are you running away from 135? You get what I'm saying? Ain't no fight bigger. If Andy Cruz is like, if he could find his way to a Abdullah Mason fight, that's still a fight that I would like to see. He could still get that fight. It's still fights to be made at 35 for Andy Cruz, man. So no, I think that's running. That's scrambling. I don't like that.
I think that's a fair assessment. I do think that him going down to 130 could look weird, aesthetically speaking, just looking at it like, damn, bro, really? You gonna let that one, fight change your whole situation? And now what are you gonna become, a weight bully at 130? Like, is that what the new narrative is gonna be? HL, what's good with you, family?
What's going on, Clay?
Man,
they're reflecting what we said on Saturday.
A little bit, right?
They're reflecting what we said on Saturday. It's one or two things. Either the Bozy and his style is not good for Andy Cruz because he has no pop, or he just got to go down. That's what basically what, because he's got no pop.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to hurt this guy, because you got to have something that's going to make people respect you. And he's shown that he doesn't have anything. And it's only 6 fights. So I understand what you're saying about the perception. Oh, if he goes down, but bro, he's only got 6 fights in. If he's going to make a change, now's the time. But he's also 30 years old. So I don't think that's wise. I don't think it's also wise because he's 30 years old. So, I mean, look, man, it's a short career. You got to do the best for yourself to make that dollars and make sense. And whatever's going to be best for him, that's what he's going to have to do. But to stay in a division where he has no pop and just get smoked by everybody else,
especially with that Bozy in his system, like I think it requires a pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be different if you were like boxing more like a Shakur maybe, or you know what I'm saying, if that's what you were doing. But if you're gonna, Bozy's system, I think, requires a pop. Am I bugging? Like, you need to have some pop on you, bro. Like, Jack Catterwall 2.0 doesn't execute that game plan if he's not able to stop Echo Usman. Like, because other than that, you're just getting beat up for no reason, because he was getting punched on in that fight. He just that he ultimately was able to deliver those shots, and he had enough pop in his game to make the difference. If it's not going to deliver on that part, then yeah, man, you're getting beat up a lot, bro. You're gonna get beat up a lot. And Andy was slick. To his credit, he was slick, right? He did a good job catching a lot of those shots. Raymond Moritala had to work his ass off to get to him. You know what I'm saying? That dude did a good job of catching shots, lateral movement. You know what I'm saying? Clean punching. Listen, I mean, he checking a lot of the boxes. That's why I always say, man, I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying Andy Cruz is a hype job, because that's not what he is. But something about when he gets in that ring at 135, in my heart be feeling like that man is in danger. Am I bugging? I'll be feeling like, yo,
I see it. I see what you're saying.
When you don't get hit, you be like, woo, oh God, thank God he didn't get hit. All right, Andy, keep moving. You got it, baby. Like, when that punch come and it misses him, you be like, damn, that one right there, I think would have ended him, but he didn't get hit with it. We all did, right?
But at the same time, we gotta pump our brakes about, I mean, we're just pointing out what we saw that he needed to win this fight.
Right.
But let's not make no mistake. I don't give a shit about them fucking scorecards.
Right.
We saw a very close, competitive fight, and we had it. It could have gone either way. Few swing rounds here and there. So I mean, do I agree that the right man won? Yeah.
Up until like the 9th round, that was like a draw, right? It was
right there.
Rounds that separated where Raymond Moritala stepped it up and got the win.
That Gatorade kicked in, and you know what I mean.
That's a whole nother story, man. Hey, shout out Vegas, man. Everything in Vegas, baby, stays in Vegas. That's what they keep telling me. So,
Andy Cruz is a problem for a lot of these young guys here at 135. I really believe he still is. I wouldn't want him to see him go down, because I know that the fact is his age, where he's at in his career. He's only got 6 fights, and you know what I mean. But if they really feel it to be necessary, then now is the time. At 6 fights, not that he can't get any older and think, I'm going to go down and wait. But I think he'll stick around, and I think they'll look at this and hopefully they make some more proper adjustments on what he needs to finally sit down more on his punches, something I don't think he does. But will it change much for him? I don't know.
Yeah,
and that's my thing. That's why I don't think going down to 130 is the play, because I don't see him, like, if he go down to 130, I don't think he's gonna become some type of knockout artist. Like, he's not about to start. So it's like, you might
But he'll have more respect. His punches will have more respect behind his
Right.
punches. That's all.
You won't have to be on his back foot the whole damn fight. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
exactly.
I
You
think
know what I
that's
mean?
just how he fight. I think that's that amateur style. Like he's a point fighter. Like he fights for points. Like he's still thinking that this is a point game. I feel like. I just think that's how you fight. I feel like no matter what division, that's just how you gonna fight. So you
Yeah.
just stay where there's a couple like him and the Jadier Herrera. I like to
Right.
see that. That's the fight for
I
me.
think that would be a decent fight for him. So I think Jody is a little too reckless, and Andy's just too. His punches are too short, fast, and he's too. The IQ is too much. I think Javier Herrera gets into his feelings. He gets into his emotions. He let his hands fly recklessly. And he's gonna get pieced up. I think by somebody like Andy Cruz.
I agree.
But it's a good looking fight, and right now Javier Herrera is holding that interim WBC title, by the way. So that puts him right back in the mix. If he gets that fight, gets that win, boom, me and Shakur again. I'm back on Shakur's side. You know what I'm saying? If Shakur comes back to 135, if that's what he chooses to do. Or worst case scenario, just get elevated and become an email WBC champion, right?
Yeah, I mean, if Shakur decides not to want to come back down after his loss, I guess, yeah.
Right. So he's still in the
competition. I like that. I'm with you, HL.
Bro, listen, bro. Hey, I ain't gonna even argue with this man. I'm not even doing it at this point. We too close to the fight for me to even be going through this with this dude.
You see how I slid that one in?
I heard you. I already know. But hey, man, it's fight week, man. What? One of the biggest fight weekends. I mean, Jesus. I mean, seriously. Friday Pro Box. Saturday morning, Josh Kelly, Bakra Murtazaliev. Saturday evening, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez card, followed up by a Xander Zayas Abbas Baharu card, which I hear through the grapevine that they should be trying to stream like they're trying to get the main events not to bump into each other. They're acknowledging the fact that
I got the email this past week. The Saturday card in New York, they starting it a little bit earlier. So starting at doors open at 6, so it could be at 6. It used to be at 7. So I don't know what they're. I don't know if they're trying to make it not clash each other, but that's what I got from the email, that it's going to start now at opening doors at 6:15. The fight starts, I think.
And not to mention, I get boxing on Sunday as well with Zuffa.
Oh yeah, with Zuffa. Then Zuffa rolls out on Sunday. Yep.
Ooh, so the whole weekend full of boxing. 3-day boxing bonanza.
Oh man.
Hey.
Listen, man. I mean, I'm seriously excited for the weekend, man. I mean, if you love boxing, you can't help it. Like, I'm excited. I got no other plans. I'm trying to get wifey to cook me something I like. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I don't know what's gonna be yet. Generally everything she cook I like, but you know what I mean, I do got my favorites. So I happen to have a cooking ass wife. I ain't gonna lie.
What's the favorite? Clay, what you looking for? What you hoping it is, man?
Honestly, my wife has this red bean soup she makes. It's got like beef in it, like, you know, I mean, sometimes she puts the oxtail in it, sometimes she puts like, you know, some good real fatty beef, you know what I'm saying, in it. I really love that damn red bean soup. I'm dead ass. If I call her downstairs right now, she's gonna tell you that's probably the one that I love the most. But the mac and cheese be going crazy. She likes to play with the seafood. She's all about the lobster and the mac and cheese and the shrimp. You know what I'm saying? She's all about bringing that all together.
Yo, Clay got it made, man. Clay is the king, bro. Clay is the king over there, bro. Shout out to Clay.
My own castle, bro. Of my own castle. You know what I mean? Specifically, yes. I have no problem admitting that, taking ownership of that. But yeah, man, great fights coming up on the weekend. Everybody questioning Zuffa. Toledo, did I get a chance to speak to you about Zuffa? What did you think about the Zuffa rollout on Friday?
Oh, I thought it was no, we did. Yeah, we didn't get to speak. You know, we were advocates. We're big.
Right.
I like what I saw. So far, so good. I mean, basically, my whole thing, as long as they come in consistent, this is the play to me, is their best ability is your best ability is your visibility. They coming with the rollout. They got and the one thing that I'm looking for, they got a schedule. Like I say, a lot of these motherfuckers, PBC not giving us no schedule. Top Rank damn sure not giving us no schedules. The only people that I can let breathe with this shit is Matchroom. I know that Matchroom get me a schedule. I know I'm getting Nick Ball and Figueroa. I know I'm getting Emmanuel Navarrete and Sugar Nunez from Matchroom. They give me a schedule. I'm gonna let them breathe. You see me? But these other guys, they be out here bullshitting. Golden Boy is bullshitting. I don't know what I'm getting from them. I don't know what I'm getting from PBC, like I say, or Top Rank. So right now, Zuffa, if they can keep giving me a schedule, because I know I'm about to get Rayo February 1st. I know I'm about to get F.A. Jogba and Charles Martin February 13th and shit like that. So, and I like that it seemed like Zuffa, they working together. They working with CBS because we got to peep. We wouldn't get no Sunday boxing if the NFL was going on. How ironic, the NFL, they season wrap up. Now Zuffa boxing slide in on the Sunday. Boom. I like that. I like Sunday boxing. Like I
love Sunday boxing. I love Sunday boxing, bro.
Exactly. Ain't no NFL right now. My Packers is out the playoffs and shit. Everybody cooked. So fuck it. I like it. I like it. And then it's getting me hopeful because I don't know why I can see Zuffa boxing coming on CBS on regular TV. What like all I need is a metal hanger, an antenna, and I can get the boxing. Cause remember, I don't know if people remember, but when the UFC was with ESPN, they had a couple shows on ABC.
I remember.
So
I remember.
I wouldn't be surprised if UFC or I see a Zuffa boxing match on CBS. I like that. That's what I'm looking forward to. So yeah, I'm fucking with it. So far, so good on the Zuffa boxing.
If everybody is to just stop the over expectations,
yes,
and just realize what my man just said. They're giving you a schedule. They're giving you consistency, good productions coming through. And then on top of that, easy accessibility to these fights. They're going to snag a market. You know what I mean? And we're going to watch it. It's not, you know what I mean? Especially those hardcores. You could watch two shitty ass football teams, playing each other, and we're going to watch it if you like football. It's just the way it is. So as long as they give us those things, and the thing is that they're striving for better. Yeah, it's mid competition right now and stuff, but it can only go up from here. It can only go up from here.
I like that what they're doing is I say they're tilling the soil. You feel me? And what are they doing? They're tilling it. They're getting it nice and fertile. They're giving it potassium, magnesium, all those things that it needs, and they're planting the seeds. And the seeds are the prospects, the Robert Merriweathers, right? Like they're planting them and they're getting ready. And the harvest is going to be, if your promotional company hasn't been working on their prospects the way we are, our season is coming. You know what I'm saying? Where we got the most sought after fighters, the best fighters in the world. We're going to start producing them 2-3 years down the line. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
2-3 years down the line, it's going to be Robert Merriweather, maybe the best fighter in the world. And the only way to dispute it is to fight him, in comparison to maybe say a Carmel Moulton who's being developed by Floyd Mayweather Promotions and wherever Carmel ends up landing. And now we're going to see the big Riyadh season cards again, the big Ring magazine, you know what I'm saying? Cards again, where you're bringing the Zuffa fighters who have been just doing their thing and being developed, and he's starting to compete with the other fighters on the outside. We have a whole nother season and another generation of fighters that's going to entertain us in the coming years. And I'm looking at that part of the game, and I'm happy about that. Do I think Zuffa is ready to compete with Golden Boy and Matchroom and all the big fights? I mean, to a degree, yes, but more than likely, no. They got the big fighters. It is what it is. I don't have no problem admitting that David Benavidez is a huge superstar. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, Jerome Boots Ennis. These guys are who they are. But in 3 to 5 years, where your young bulls at? You know what I'm saying? Where your young bulls at and what they about to do? I know Zay Quinn is there. Omari Jones is there, but I need to see the young bulls, man. Because I know that Zuffa working on the young bulls, and the young bulls is getting exposure. They're getting television viewership.
Exactly.
That's a whole different energy. They're gonna build up their brand in a whole different way. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
I do want to say though, I wasn't impressed with Callum Walsh though. He wasn't impressive at all. That fucker.
Callum is you know who Callum Walsh is to me?
Who is he? Break it down.
Ronda Rousey.
No, man. Ronda Rousey has her sexy moments, at least.
She had her moments, but Ronda Rousey is one of those fighters who, once the Amanda Nunes's came around and the Holly Holmes and the real skilled fighters came around, she became one dimensional and she became easy to figure out, and she knew, and she got the hell out the way. You know what I'm saying? I think Calum is just Calum. He's gonna fight against the competition that Zuffa's giving him, and more like he's gonna end up getting clipped. More like he's gonna end up getting clipped. But look, people like him, and that's Dana's young bull. So let Dana have his young bull. You know what I'm saying? Let Dana push his young bull. But ultimately, I mean, the Robert Merriweathers are gonna be bigger stars than Calum Walsh. You know what I mean? Julian Rodriguez, man, come on, bro.
Yeah, I like what I saw from him. That was a good
fight. He's a filler. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't think nothing special about Julian. I really didn't see nothing like, this guy gonna do something. Not at all. I think he's a good filler. He'll give you an entertaining fight, and that's where I'm at with him.
He one of the guys like he could be like a Jorge Masvidal of your roster, like how they had him for the UFC.
Boom.
You could
that's an even better comparison right there. Look at Roger Dad on the screen. That's even better than Ronda.
That's a fact. Patty is like
that was right on the nail, bro. Definitely a Patty Pimblett, man. Just looking good as long as he can. Then he eventually gonna get in there with somebody, you know what I'm saying? For sure. But no, Julian Rodriguez is good because of that damn mouthpiece. Pause.
He had me wanting to see him get knocked out. I tell you that.
There you go. He's doing his job. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get him on the show this week, as a matter of fact. His manager said he's gonna get him on the show for me.
And then after his speech in the ring, you're like, okay, all right. That was a good speech, man. You're a good dude.
yeah, bro. He told the guy, yo, salute to him and his kids, man. I heard they're dealing with some health issues, man. We don't play like that over here, you know what I mean? God bless him, send prayers his way. But look, I like Julian Rodriguez. I think listen, man, he got a real test with that Kane Sandoval. Kane Sandoval was on that boy's bumper.
And I was happy for him, too, getting the bonus. I can't lie. I was happy for him getting that bonus.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Well deserved. 150? Yeah, definitely.
It was a good fight, man. It was a good fight. Something about the product, like, it was, what I picked was, like, the sound. Like, I like the way it sounded. Like, the punch, like, you could really hear the punches. Like, they sounded like they had the ring was mic'd up or something. That shit sounded real clear.
Dana White's not going to play with his production. That's the one thing that he prides himself over everything. He takes ownership of that. He takes ownership.
Yeah, he says the fighters got to do their job, but I'm not slipping on my job. That part of the game, I will go to bed at night knowing that I did this part of the game to the max. So I'm giving you guys the keys to the city. I'm letting you guys get the stage. You better do what you're supposed to do in that ring.
He takes pride. He says it. And the UFC is like, man, that's where he takes his pride at. That he knows that he's got the best production with the UFC when it comes to all combat sports, and he's gonna bring that flavor over here to boxing. So we'll see. We'll see if he takes it up with everything else, just the way we used to see everything else with HBO and Showtime.
How do you guys feel about the press conferences at the end? Dana does these press conferences at the end of the UFC, all UFC fights. And I've always been interested in seeing what that would translate like into the boxing space. And it's unique. People don't talk about it a lot because it's just a regular thing that happens at the UFC. It's just what they do every single event. But we don't see that in boxing. We don't see Oscar De La Hoya come out and be like, yo, attendance was this, the viewership was this. You know what I'm saying? Bonuses go to this guy. And then he brings on the questions. What do you want to talk about? Hey, man, you don't see it like that. Do you think that's going to go over well with the boxing?
It's going to go very well, and what's going to show is that he's an open book, and there's a lot of transparency, which you don't get from everybody else because there's a lot of secret shit in the background that they don't want us to know. But when it comes to him, everything's like a corporation. Everything is open to everybody to see and know, and so it is what it is. Now, whether you like it or not, that's your problem. If you don't like, whatever the numbers are or whatever they're getting, whatever else is in between. But he don't care. He's like, this is how it is. This is what we do. And I'm an open book. And so I like that. And he takes all the tough questions, regardless whether you like them or not. I'm okay with it, man. I think it's going to bring a different flavor. And it's going to put pressure on the other guys to do it, which I think Eddie Hearn does a pretty good job at being open to everybody and answering a lot of questions. But this is gonna be another level of more intimacy of what we don't get to see behind the curtain with Dana White. But I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not pumping up that this is all the almighty of all things is gonna happen. I think, like we said once before in a few panels back, we're gonna see an integration of him with everybody else, and maybe this takeover everything is look. I think is a bit much. I think it is what it is. Zuffa is gonna be its own product, its own brand, and this. So I'm gonna take over the world. Shit. I think I think that's gonna have to be quenched down a bit because I don't think it's gonna be just like that. But I think they're gonna be making their own mark, and Zuffa is here to stay with that. That's about it. We're just gonna be part of them with everybody else.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, Reyes, man, you got a new camera?
Is it messed up? Because my computer's doing that weird thing again.
No, you're clear, bro.
No, clear.
You're clearer than you've been in a long time. Like, you're super clear. That's why I'm asking, did you get a new camera? Like, you're really clear.
It's the same camera, but my computer's doing this weird downloading thing. But if it's clear, man, works for me. That's awesome.
Yeah. We because of your ugliness, bro. Nah, he's perfect now.
Scaring your camera every time you scaring the shit out that motherfucker don't want to even work. Like, God damn.
and then you guys can hear me just fine, no problems on the audio.
Listen, man, you in the building, man. You good. You better than me. I think I'm over here stuttering and freezing and doing all types of nonsense.
Yeah, your head used to be green. Now it's black and white, so it's working now. Or is it all the same hats?
No, different hats, HLD. But you know, man, we're working on getting our new coach, Raider Nation. You know, and everybody keeps thinking Fernando Mendoza. So shit, I'll take anything at this point.
Beggars can't be choosers, right?
Yeah. Hey, man, we got the number 1 pick. So if any of you guys want to give us like 8 first-round picks for our number 1, you guys can have it. But yeah, man, I didn't catch all of the Greg Hackett. I only got near the end of it. I think you were already at the end of it all, Clay. But I think you were like asking him about Zuffa and whatnot. And tomorrow, I'll let you know, Clay, because I was just on the phone with him earlier today. Mm-hmm. So we may be using our show for our special guests. Like 2 of them, that's Zuffa related, but I don't know quite yet. So let me take the time to give you guys my take on the weekend now. As you guys know, me and Clay are very high on Zuffa boxing, and I think again, HLD, what most people are not understanding is that Paramount Plus paid a premium to the TKO Holdings Group to give them content, right? How that content relates is going to be based upon viewership. And I think that most people who are kind of going against Zuffa, they're just picking at it. They're like nitpicking at it. Oh, let me pick at this and let me pick at that. Instead of someone who's never even watched boxing in the last 5 years or 10 years because it's been too much money. The fights are it looks like it's rigged. Like they're all the singular regular complaints of everybody I've spoken to who's a casual. He's like, you know why I don't watch boxing, bro? Because it's rigged, man. You know, or you know why I don't watch boxing, bro? Because it's corrupt. And all they're doing is they're re-showing it to those fan base where it's like, well, first of all, it's fucking free. So you can complain all you want, but if you're watching Landman or Mobland or any of this, anyways, it's free. Secondly, if you look at the production, honestly, man, I in comparing to the Zone production to Zuffa Boxing's production, it's not even close, dude. The Zuffa Boxing production was amazing. From Molly Quorum coming out, I was like, damn, this is dope. I know everybody's giving shit to Max Kellerman, right, Clay? Like everybody, Max, look, man, the guy has a job to do.
Period. Okay? That's all it is. I mean, I think people got to understand. Right? But look, I'm gonna be honest. I get it though. He does listen, he's doing his job, but man, bro, every opportunity he gets
to pump it up, right? Okay, now,
yeah,
right now, I want you to understand. If the viewership, if the producers told him, hey, man, your viewership is going to be the casuals, like people who watch NFL football, who they don't know nothing about boxing, then someone like Max probably does have to do comparison to familiar names. Like, for example, for Kalen Walsh, I would have said something like, if you and I were doing the watch party together, Clay, I'd have been like, yeah, Caleb is, he's trying to do like some Calzaghe type stuff, right? Not great. He's doing all right. He's kind of got, when I was watching it with my wife, I was saying he's kind of doing like a bad version of Sergio Martinez, but he's trying, right? But Sergio Martinez and Joe Calzaghe aren't casual fan base recognizable names. What is a casual fan base recognizable name is Roy Jones Jr. Now, when he says Roy Jones Jr., you, me, and the rest of the world are like, come on, bro.
That was a reach.
like, come on, man. Like, you know, man, that lollipop must taste good, Max. Like, relax.
Ooh, that was definitely one of the ones where it was like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I love you, bro, but you reaching. I'm gonna have to put in a stop. Ooh, you reaching. Right, like, you know how Two-Tone has your glazing. I'm gonna put the region. Ooh, you're reaching.
Yeah. But again, in all honesty, he's Zuffa 1 is, hey, here's what a format's going to look like for every casual fan who wants to get involved. And guess what? We're doing it again next week. See you again for Combat Sports Weekend, right? Which you saw, Clay. I talked about that when I was on the interview yesterday, right? For 8 News.
CBS.
Oh, yeah, for CBS.
CBS. Yeah.
Yeah, it was CBS. Yeah, CBS. And, and Megan O'Leary, myself, Joe Benavidez was actually there, which was kind of cool. But the whole point is, again, it's the rollout is it's Combat Sports Weekend. So this weekend is a classic example of that. There will be no football on CBS. There's no real college basketball to compete against Zuffa Boxing. So the viewership numbers for Zuffa Boxing this Sunday, I'm telling you, is going to be high. They have recognizable names and former world champions on it, right? Like, think about it. That, like, now it makes sense to me why they did it that way. Because Vosnik's a former champ. He's the opener. Sergey Bohacek and Butayev, who's the former champ, he's the co-main, right? And then the main event is Rayo Valenzuela, who's the former champion. So now it makes sense to me. Like, all right, you guys, you're doing it this way. The rest of the cards gonna look pretty cool also. So I mean, overall, like I said, I stop complaining and just see what happens. The one thing I will point out, Clay, and I don't know if you talked about it earlier, you probably did, but from what I understand of the Bam Rodriguez thing, Zuffa sent them their offer. And Matchroom, by right, because it's called the right of first refusal, they get to match whatever that high offer is, right? And from what I understanding, Bam hasn't signed shit. He's still waiting for other offers, right? So if there's one thing Zuffa's already done, it's driving the price up for fighters, which is a positive, right? Because otherwise, what would Bam have been doing as a leverage? Bam, I'm a free agent. Oh, okay, well then, all the other boxing promoters usually try to lowball you. Zuffa, who's a company, is like, hey, Robert Garcia, Bam, whoever your manager is, here's our first offer. Right away, Bam already looked like he was like, hell yeah, I kind of like this offer. And then Matchroom stepped in, contractually saying, you can't take that offer if we match it.
Right.
To which, and that right there, Clay, if that's all Zuffa does for all the other fighters.
Yeah, I've been saying that, Reyes, right? Like, I've been saying at a minimum, worst case scenario, Zuffa will at least put a fire under Oscar, Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, all the promoters, Bob Arum, whoever's running Top Rank right now, if it's still Bob Arum, it'll put a fire under their asses to compete. The free market is a tried true process system. You know what I mean? The free market does what it does. Right, HL?
Like, it's capitalism at its best. It's basically had to bring it back to football for Reyes, but it's basically, he's got a restricted free agent out there, and what that means is, the home team gets to match whatever offer he gets out there. I don't know the full details of this match because every contract in itself is independently structured, but that's what it seems like is what it is. And to my understanding, the way Eddie Hearn said yesterday, I caught him on an interview. That they matched the offer and they expect to making an announcement next week for a fight for Bam. So I think that's where it's at. And I don't know how many back and forths they're allowed to have.
Robert Garcia said yesterday. Did you see him on Cigar Talk last night with Nazi?
Yeah, I saw the clip on X feed. on there, and it seems
But
like
what did he say, Clay? Or what did he say?
He said that we haven't signed back with Matchroom, that we still got other offers on the table, and that I got to bring to Eddie. And you know what I'm saying? It sparked a whole entire a hornet's nest, right? He shook up the hornet nest. Zuffa shook up the hornet nest, and now everybody's coming at Robert Garcia, wanting to get a opportunity to get Bam Rodriguez on the roster. And yeah, bro, listen, man, that's at a minimum, Zuffa is going to do that. At a minimum,
Right.
Zuffa is going to cause that type of situation.
But what do you think?
Realistically-
But it don't make like what's the best option for Bam Rodriguez and y'all?
money talks, bro. Whatever the best offer is what it is. But the thing is, realistically, who else is gonna bid on this? Nobody's in position right now. Golden Boy's not in position. Top Rank is not in position.
What about
Nate? Who?
Who's Teshin? Who's in Japan? The promoter that has Monsanto.
It's called Taiken.
Taiken?
Yeah.
Maybe,
But that's Mr. Honda.
Mr. Honda.
Yeah. So that's Japanese money, Clay. So Jorge Linares, for example, was with Taken forever, right? I remember even back in the day he was with Taken. So he never left Mr. Honda per se, but even still, Taken Promotions knows they don't really have a foothold on the other markets outside of Japan. So you could have like a semi contract with them, but
the semi ones where you're like sharing the relationship with Top Rank.
But they got them. But they do got the lower weight class market.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't think about them at all, but maybe, just maybe, because they do got the money, but. Are they going to be able to compete with? Like I said, we don't know what the details are. Is it a one-time, back and forth that they got? I don't know how what's the structure of this contract.
I mean, I'm glad you guys are bringing this up because from what Dana White had said on Friday night's Zuffa Boxing post-fight conference, is he said, and he also resaid it again. If you guys watch the UFC on the UFC post-fight conference, he said the same exact thing, but. There's a ton of things that he cannot announce yet, but when he does, it's going to be bigger than what Don King and Bob Arum and anybody's ever done in the space of boxing. So for all I know, Mr. Honda's already reached out to Dana and was like, hey, we know that you're doing flyweight and bantamweight and featherweight, and we would like to partner with you, because that's what Mr. Honda was doing anyways. He was partnering with whoever the best version of global boxing could do, whether it was Bob Arum or whoever, right? So now, kind of like the new Don King, Bob Arum is Zuffa Boxing, and like it or not, man, it's here. So
shout out to Kaisu 953 because I've heard a lot of people talk about this. Yesterday I was in Cigar Talk with Najee spoke about this, and look, I think this is a fair observation, and I'm wondering what you guys think about it. He says, bro, I'll be honest, the uniformity was off-putting, but it works for Zuffa as a brand because it emphasizes the system rather than the fighters who can fall short and underwhelm performance. Shout out to Kazu 953, man. That was great. A great contribution to the conversation. What did you guys think about the uniformity, the Zuffa boxing shorts, the Zuffa boxing gloves, the Zuffa boxing everything? You guys think that Dana needs to open up the doors and let these fighters, because boxing is all about a lot of swag, right? And when you think about Gervonta Davis making his way to the ring in his chrome heart outfit, when you think about watching Floyd Mayweather in the ring with the Hublot, you know what I'm saying? What's the word I'm looking for? The Hublot sponsorship.
Yeah, the watches, yeah.
Yeah, when you think about Devin Haney in the ring with the, all the different ways that boxers use to promote themselves, get money, obviously, and also, that ring walk, with the rapper or whatever, whatever it is that you do you think that Dana might take that into consideration and pull a little bit off of that? Because I know he has it very strict with the UFC. Everybody's is in uniform, but is that going to translate well in the boxing space? Does he need to consider taking his foot off of that?
I don't think so. I think he could maintain his brand as what it is. He needs to give them the independent flair of their intro, though. You know what I mean? I think that's if anything, on the intro, the road they're coming in on and all that stuff. Yeah, I think there. But I'm here for the fights. You know what I mean? The fights are more important than anything. Yeah, You know, remember Tito in the back day? Yo, he had all the fireworks and all that stuff in UFC, and that right. But when it came into the ring, bro, I mean, or the octagon, yo, all we cared about is the fight. I mean,
Facts.
if you're worried about what sneakers he got on and what patches and bullshit, nah, I look, man, fight your ass off. That's what we want to remember. And so, yeah, and the intro and the production and the fireworks and flair and the music, whatever, coming into the ring. If you want to give a little bit in that, I get that, you know. But I'm not, bro. Yo, man, do you remember what Hector Camacho was wearing when he was whooping under, or no, man? You know, like what? What was Mike Tyson wearing, bro? Mike Tyson came in and blanded that shit. Yo, all we cared about, bro. He came in with 50 dudes coming into the ring playing that DMX shit, and that shit was.
No, he was playing. No, what was he playing? Was it?
It was Pac early. Remember?
It was Pac. He had DMX.
Public Enemy too.
Did he come in with Public Enemy?
When he came in with DMX, they were saying, "Bro, he's coming in with this music." Yeah. Like, and it was I remember the one that he had like 50 dudes coming out with him, and they're spreading the, you know, like, bro, they're fighting amongst each other to open up their head because it's 50 dudes, so they're just opening up the aisle to themselves for Mike. But it was that. But then what was Mike wearing? Fucking cutout towel, and that's it, and no socks, black sneakers. Let's go. You know what I mean? So nobody cares about that, man. Yeah, it's their individuality. Yeah, but bro, it's not.
I mean, look, Terrence came out. Terrence came out with the guitar.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And
do you remember what he had in the ring? Do you remember what Terrence Crawford had in the ring though? I don't remember what the hell he was wearing.
I don't remember. That intro was crazy, bro.
Right, the intro, right? The only person that I care about what they're wearing, bro, is my female fighters, bro. What they're wearing at the weigh-ins and when they come in. Okay, I get that part, but it's the female.
No, you're right. I didn't care. I don't remember what he had on. Yeah, you're right. As far as an outfit is concerned, like as far as it didn't matter. What were you gonna say, Rez?
No, I was just gonna say again. This is an example of you two are the classic example of what I'm saying is everybody who wants to complain about it is gonna nitpick, right? You know, this is a Michelin star restaurant, but you know, the spring rolls, how come they were like to the left instead of right? Like, come on, man, stop it. All right.
But listen,
no, I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about everybody who's saying it.
Well, no, what I'm saying is,
apart at it.
What the way I look at it is this, right? The fans are the fans, right? And and looks like, you know, Dana's interacting with the fans, right? He's opening up the table for conversation. He's saying, he's reacting, he's changing. We've seen Turkey do this. The fans complain, Turkey reacts. He makes the adjustment. He wants to please the fans. And this new rollout is a fan-friendly rollout. That's true. We want to give the fans what they want. So, you know, if you're saying that, then you got to be open to these conversations. And the question is, you know, where's Dana's limit, right? Like, I'm willing to go this far, but I'm not going past that. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I think the Zuffa, the uniformity of it all may be a little off-putting, but I also agree with what HLD said. That we really don't. Is that what we really care about? And is that what the fans really care about? Is just the ring walk going to be enough? The music.
I like the I like the uniformity. You know, I don't have my stance for how I say it brings regulations and standards to it all. Cause it's like y'all, like in the past, like I heard you bring up Terrence Crawford. Remember in that in the Earl Spence fight, something is wrong with his gloves. Is he busting out the gloves? He's not looking good. But in Zuffa, motherfucker, if everybody's in the same gloves, hopefully that shit won't come into factor now. None of that shit matters now. Like, hopefully, you know, like sometimes they bring up ring sizes and shit and things of this nature. Well, hopefully in Zuffa boxing, they're going to be fighting in the same size ring out every time. Hopefully that's the play. I just want to see regulation because, like I say, in basketball, it's a 10-foot rim everywhere you play. You feel me? In football, the field is the same size everywhere you play. So that's all. I like regulations and standards in the boxing game. Motherfuckers wear the same gloves. The ring is the same size, and let's keep it the same. I'm fucking.
Yeah, you know what? That's something important what you're saying right there. It's because that's what a lot of us are screaming about, right? A lot of us are talking about, and that's what this whole conversation, when we talk about Zuffa boxing, What is it? It's the organization. When you hear Max Kellerman talking about, I want this to be a league. I want this to be like the NFL, the NBA, you know what I'm saying? All these other leagues. I'm trying to get away from the lawlessness, and I'm trying to get into the structure of the sport so we can start getting more of a consistent product, right? Champions, a consistent product in fights, the delivery of competitive fights, and all those different things. And maybe this is part of the conversation. I got two new guys on the panel here. Shout out to Two Rich. I respect the belts in the building. I ain't seen you in a while, brother. What's good with you, family?
Hey, what's going on, Clay?
Doing good, doing good. And I got BVO Sports TV in the building. You guys know BVO. What's good, family?
Good. How you doing, my brother?
Man, we're doing good, man. Life is good, man. We in a good place, man. So we've been talking about a whole bunch of different topics, right? But I don't want to be all over the place. We always end up, especially when Reyes comes up here, right? We're going to talk about some Zuffa, right? So
now, first of all, see, guys, you see what happened? Yeah, I believe, guys, that what I heard from the Boxing Voice and the Hangout Spot and all these other places is the current official ambassador of Zuffa is Claymore Rain. Why is he throwing it at me, bro?
I mean, listen, but you know what I always let him know? Hey, bro, you don't know Reyes. You don't know Reyes boxing. You just saying that because you don't know. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Man, you got to meet my boy Reyes.
You guys think what did Jack Nicholson say? Me, wait till you get a load of Reyes.
Hey, look, man. I can I ask, or I don't know if the panel saw it, but the rollout for UFC 324, Clay. I'm waiting for what the viewership numbers are, but Paramount Plus executives said that it was 3 times the amount of what their expectation was. So they had a number like, hey, we would like it if UFC 324 hits this number. And then like right when they saw the numbers, they were like, hey, we'll roll it out, but and make it public soon. But man, it's 3 times the amount of what we expected. So for that to be the first UFC event of the year, I want you, the reason why I'm bringing it up is Zuffa Boxing is coming after UFC 325 this Saturday. Which means they're going to do a shitload of promotions. It's going to lead up to UFC 325, and Paramount's going to keep promoting Zuffa Boxing on Sunday, which is why I said HLD. I think this Sunday, with no football on CBS and Paramount Plus, that Zuffa Boxing with Ryo and Vosnik, it's going to be a high number. I don't know what the number is, but it's going to be a really high number.
But the uniforms didn't affect the viewership.
No, not at all. Not at all, HLD. Not even a little bit.
You see what I mean? I mean, it's just stupid. I mean, look, Michael Jordan himself, we're talking about this uniform thing. Michael Jordan himself in 85, when he came out, bro, the NBA put a fine $5,000 a game because his black and red sneakers did not have, white in it. And it's supposed to be a 51% rule. And so he was getting. So yeah, I believe in uniform. The NFL's got the uniform police, bro. They find him. Your sock was higher than the other. We can't have that $5,000 fine. We want uniformity, and so consistency is based on that. And so I don't have a problem with the whole. I just think that they let them, give us some good intros and whatever, and to ring walk, and we'll be fine. So that's great news for them if that's what it is that's happening with the UFC. So you see, all this stuff is just pettiness. Really petty.
Look, Robert Merriweather came out with a crown. He found a way. He found a way to get some swag in there. I mean,
that's
exactly.
Right.
Robert Merriweather found some way to implement. To get active and let his swag come out and let that flavor that he naturally has come out on the big stage. So, man, if they work hard enough, they'll figure it out. But I mean, listen, man, wherever the adjustments need to be made, I'm sure they're gonna be made. Too Rich. This one for you, man. Listen, man, you're the guy with the takes. I love, by the way, if you guys don't know about Too Rich, you need to go subscribe, man. He has some of the best takes, real short, in and out, like a robbery. He hasn't, I don't know, Too Rich, you haven't been doing like lives. You haven't been doing that yet or nothing like that, right? You just be doing the takes?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to spread it out, but lately I just been doing the shorts, man. They have been doing well. I think I did 2.1 million views in December. I was at 1.5 this month, so that's been working for me. But I'm gonna branch out. And this year, I'm gonna branch out. I hadn't done it yet, but I'm working on a long form video now. There's more about the difference between Bud Crawford and Boots Ennis. So I'm kind of trying to go down that lane. But I enjoy listening to y'all most of the time, mostly anyway. So I don't got that sauce like y'all, man. So I have to listen to y'all, man. I might not say nothing, but no, I'm watching.
I know, man.
Yeah.
But no, definitely, I love your shorts, man. Real good, man. You're like the black Marco boxing, but even more precise. If you really watch your videos, he does a real good job of breaking down current fights and what's going on. That being said, and I don't even want to get into it yet because it's fight week, right? This is the big fight weekend. This weekend is the big fight weekend. But what'd you think about this weekend's fights? What do you think about Andy Cruz, Raymond Moratala going into the fight? Were you favoring Andy Cruz, and what do you think at the end of the fight as far as Andy Cruz and as far as even Raymond Moratala?
Well, we talked before, and I've said long before this fight that I just didn't think Bozy was the trainer for Andy Cruz. In his fights previous to this one, I told you it looked like he don't know whether to move or stay there and plant his feet. It's like he's a little bit confused. And my thought is this: you came from the amateurs, you got 2 gold medals, you outboxed Keyshawn 4 times in the amateurs. Then you get to the pros and you're trying this so-called pro style and get outboxed by Moratala. So I don't like that style for him. I'm a firm believer you dance with the girl you brought to the party. I don't believe in necessarily switching. You're going to get stronger. You're going to get better. I just think you have to insinuate the skill set that you already have, not necessarily change it. Now, with that said, I thought Moratala fought a good fight, man. And Moratala was clearly bigger than Cruz. I don't know if that really had something to do with it. But at the same time, I think this was a great loss for Andy Cruz because they showed they had faith in Andy Cruz, that he was ready now. And I think that speaks to the amateur pedigree that these Olympic type fighters, they're fast track versus we saying another fighter has a pro style, but we need 18 warm-up fights before we put him in a real fight. So I think it's a fight that Andy Cruz could definitely learn from. He didn't get belt the ass really. It just was Moratala eked it out 7-5 maybe. And so I don't think Andy Cruz got to hold his head down, but he might got to figure out the division. I'm not sure y'all talking about the division. I don't really know where to go with that yet. Do we need to go down to 130? But I don't think it was a bad loss. I think it was a step-up fight early. We saw Lomachenko do and bounce back from a loss early. And so I think overall it was a good loss, man. And I don't think he should hang his head, but I wouldn't be surprised if he leave Bozy and find another trainer, though.
Wow, leave. Okay, man. Listen, man. I've been telling everybody. I don't know yet, but I would say that I've been telling everybody, and me and you, like you said, Rich, has had this conversation before about that fit, about that dynamic, right? And not knocking Bozy, right? Like Bozy does his thing. We saw what he did with Jack Catterall. We see what he's doing with his son. But at the end of the day, different strokes, different folks. Everything don't gotta fit. Sometimes that just ain't where the best place for you to be. But when I saw Raymond Moratala speak on it at the end of the fight, he said, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. He's too small. He ain't punching like that. That's what Raymond Moratala said. Yeah. And he said it in a very genuine way. Like, I'm not trying to diss him. He was like, that dude ain't punching like that. He's just too small. He's just not right. So it made me feel like, well, damn, maybe Bozy Ennis ain't the issue per se. Maybe it's a division. Maybe the system translates well for him at 130. Maybe him fighting that way at 130, because he was hitting Raymond Moratala with clean shots. He was a clean puncher in that fight. Very clean, precise, defensively responsible. He was checking the boxes, just he couldn't get no respect from Raymond Moratala. Right?
I was gonna say, Clay, like, I don't know. I didn't get to watch your live because, as you know, I had to watch the UFC 324. But when I did watch the replay, I don't know why people were so mad, dude. Like, I scored it 8-4 for Moratala. I just felt like he had forward presence, and on top of that, he was working the body, which I count body punches. I know that everybody said, 118, 110 is egregious, but you and I have had this conversation before when it comes to judging, where we say depends on the angle that judge was in, and if that was sort of a close round, man, the guy coming forward usually is the guy that gets it, which is why we were thinking it for the Julian Rodriguez Sandoval fight. Where we were like, I hope they don't rob Julian, man, because Julian was whooping this dude, and then they didn't. They were like, no, Julian was whooping that guy.
But the judges did have a teleprompter each to watch this fight also on the network live as it was going. So
really,
that's what I said that on Saturday. That I don't know if you know. There was something different with this that they had a monitor for them to see it.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, HLD, because I know they do that for UFC because it's hard to see what's going on, especially when it's grappling on the other side. So that's awesome, man. No wonder they called. No wonder the judging was great. They were just looking at the monitor. They were like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense. This dude's getting his ass."
But it's also got to be new for the judges to implement that in the way they look at the fight. So. It's a tool that they have there now for themselves. I'm not going to say they're going to be perfecting because you got to understand they've been watching boxing as it is with their eyes only. So now to have a monitor there, it's going to take a while even for the judges to get used to, take a peek at that. And
looking away.
Yeah.
This is not a good angle. Boom. Look at the monitor. Okay, now they're right in front of me. Look back up at the at the ring. BBO, what's good with you, family?
Salam, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Walaikum salam, man. Rahmatullah barakatuh, man. Hey, family, what did you think about the weekend's fights? I mean, as far as the the Andy Cruz and the Raymond Mortala fight, were you good with the judges on this one? Do you think they got it right, or do you feel like they didn't give Andy Cruz his flowers?
The one judge, I can't remember his name. Somebody hit him in the head with a baseball bat.
Yeah, somebody had caught him slipping outside the parking lot.
The one thing I will say is this is what Gary Russell talked about some years ago with Devin Haney. You can't come to the pros that amateur stuff, man. They judge it different. So I think, Andy he was like Michael Jordan in the pros. I mean, look at Andy in those amateur fights. He looked amazing. So I can understand why he still fought that way. But I think that Bosey's all wrong for him. I think he should go with somebody like people probably wouldn't agree with this, but I think Gary Russell Jr. should train him. But what I'm seeing, what he's doing with Antoine, that would be perfect. That'd be a match.
Yeah, that would be fit. That would fit him better. Yeah.
Because I think especially with these slick fighters, man, don't go with nobody who don't do what you do already. You know what I mean? That's why I thought it was great to see Brian Norman Jr. go with Derek James. You already do this stuff. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. It's too late to game for that. So I just hope he get a different trainer and go from there, because what works for Boost won't work for you, man. We've seen that with Cool Steph. Cool Boy Steph.
What do you think about the idea of, is it possible for these two ideas to coexist? Bozy Ennis is a great trainer. Andy Cruz should go somewhere else. Can those two statements coexist in the same space?
Yeah, I think it's just now if you give your honest opinion, you're a hater. But I wouldn't say Boy's a great trainer. I think he's very good. I'm not gonna say he's a great trainer off training his son to be Stanionis. He's not gonna do it. A dude who hardly ever fought, who was half dead already. I mean, I'm not gonna go crazy about that performance. You know what I mean? Bozy got to show me, just like Robert Garcia had to show it, just like Eddie Reynoso had to show us. People forget Eddie showed us against Austin Trout. I know that's an old fight, but he showed us that Canelo could do something special when he beat Austin Trout when he was a monster.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? What do you think about that, HLD? Can that coexist? Can Bozy Ennis be a great trainer, but Andy Cruz should go somewhere else?
I'm going to take the word about great. I'm just going to tell you that I think Bozy should be good enough to. There's plenty of 12 rounds tape to look at and make necessary adjustments. So I think you still got to go another fight or two before you make such a drastic decision. But it was a close. I mean, we're making it seem like he got his ass whooped and it was a 12-0. No, it wasn't. Yeah. I don't care what the Georgia scorecard say. It was.
I don't think HLD that I think some people are definitely taking it that way. That's why it's such a difficult conversation to have, and that's why I brought the topic up, because me personally, I feel like they can coexist. I think Bozy is a great trainer. Well, great. I mean, I'm using the word loosely, right? Because if we're talking about amongst the greatest, I don't mean it that way, right? Like he's a Hall of Fame trainer or something, right? That's not what I'm trying to say. But I'm saying, can I feel like Andy Cruz should go somewhere else without it being me making it all Bozy Ennis's quote unquote fault, or he's not, you know what I mean? Like, can that happen? Can Andy Cruz be better somewhere else, but it not be taking credibility away from Bozy Ennis?
I think they could still coexist. I'd say before you make that decision, there's plenty of tape with this fight for you to look at what happened and make the necessary adjustments. And another fight, if they fight somebody who's also a front-footed fighter, to see where his adjustments are at. If it doesn't work out, then okay, then I can say, okay, maybe I need to change a trainer and see somebody who fits more in my style. But we're talking about razor thin adjustments that could have been done, and maybe we have a different outcome. But it was very, I'm gonna make you happy, Reyes. The numbers came out for UFC.
Yeah, no, I was about to
5.93 million concurrent streams on Paramount.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna read it right now. So the key numbers is they're saying households. So a household doesn't necessarily mean like we could have had all of us watching it on a household.
Right, exactly. 4 or 5 people. Right. I could have had a fight party in my crib.
Exactly. So, but they're basing it on that type of numbers. But the average just across, that means from 3 p.m. or from 2 when it started, when I was texting Clay, like, hey, bro, turn your Paramount Plus on. It started, right? From 2 p.m. all the way to the very end. Throughout the whole thing, it averaged 4.96 million. That's the live average minutes of people like tuning in, tuning out, right? And then the event ended up landing at 7.18 million homes. That's houses, y'all.
Right.
That means there's that many houses that at least
turned it on. Triple the number. At least triple the number, because let's say an average of 3 people in each home were watching it, right? We know that number could be up to 10, 15 each one, or maybe even 1 in a couple of them, right? But generally speaking, at least triple.
So, but that's why they put, but it's 5.93 million watching at its peak concurrently. And then they put on the disclaimer, none of these numbers account for co-viewing by multiple people on one stream, which is what we were saying. Like, it could have been 10 of us watching in one of them homes, like, we don't know. And then one of the things that they did put is they said, and while the numbers alone are impressive, they could increase significantly in the coming days as replay viewers are counted, and the above analytics are solely for the live broadcast and don't include figures for those who watch the following day. So that's just what happened live. They're not even going to show you, or they'll probably tell us at some point. And by the way, it also got this many on replay, right? Kind of like I don't know if the Zone would do that, because I had to watch Andy Cruz versus Morataya on replay. I didn't watch it live like you guys did. But that again, it's just showing you the power of free. Again, I don't know if you guys do it, but me and Clay watch the same shows on Paramount Plus anyway. So you giving me this content for free anyways, I might as well watch it, right? Like that's how casual fans think.
That transparency, once again, the boxing space, I think, is going to love it. I think, look how HLD and Reyes was able to just access that immediately. I mean, there's events that's been happening in the boxing space. It's weeks later, and we're still like, did anybody get those numbers yet? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's and then you start hearing the rumors. I'm hearing speculation. It was in this range, of this range. I heard people say 50 million. I heard somebody say 150 million. I mean, that transparency, I think, is going to play its role. I think that transparency is going to play a big role in this one, man. I really do. I really think it's going to be a good thing.
Clay,
I got a good question for you.
The Bozy thing right quick.
Go ahead,
like, for example, I was a fan. I like the Jack Catterall style. I know these days people don't like the boxing style, but I like the Jack Catterall style even a couple of years ago. And my thing is, Jack Catterall need to learn to sit down on those punches more. So that's perfect for Bozy. That's perfect. See, that style works with Bozy because Jack Catterall needed to sit down on. He wasn't so much of a boxer that he was out boxing, but with that left hand, he sit down on just a little bit more. He could stop somebody. That was my thought pattern. But for Andy Cruz, you're taking a lot of boxing skills and you got to dumb it down for him to sit down on the punches. You see what I mean? So I don't think that works for Andy Cruz. Give a last example before I land my plane. Think about Mark Breland with Deontay Wilder. Perfect. He insinuated the right hand. He insinuated the power. And then the other, Malik Scott, come in. He gave him boxing skills, but that didn't work for Wilder. That took away his power in order to have all those skills. So sometimes you just got to accentuate what a guy does naturally. Instead of giving him something brand new, take what he do naturally and make it better. But that might not be Bozy's style because he has a uber talented fighter in Boots that nobody's going to emulate what Boots do. So I think he needs a particular type of fight. Even a Brian Norman would be good for Bozy. I know he wouldn't go to Bozy, but that style would be good for a Brian Norman or a Derrick James style. But for Andy Cruz, I would say what's his name? Robert Garcia. I know he might not train him, but he's very adaptable to. Think about the fighters that Robert Garcia got. All of them guys fight differently, and it seems like he just insinuate what each guy does well.
Yeah, and Bozy always says that he never changed Andy Cruz. He said he just added to him, but no, without a doubt, Andy Cruz has changed. Robert Garcia on this interview with Cigar Talk spoke about Andy Cruz. Did you guys see that part? Am I crazy? Was it Andy? I think it was Andy. And he basically said that he thought he could do a lot of great things with Andy Cruz. He thought Andy Cruz could benefit a lot from working out in his gym. Was it Andy Cruz? I feel like it was Andy. Let me. You guys talk. Give me a second here.
He was saying. I just want to ask everybody this real quick, if y'all don't mind.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hey man, I'm just wondering, where the hell is David Benavidez? And when is he gonna grow some nuts and call Jao Bataj's name?
He ain't calling nothing, bro.
When is he gonna grow some nuts, man?
Nobody.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired about hearing this pussycat. And you got Jao Bataj right there. He was Zuffa now, so you can't ignore him.
Bro,
when he beat Noel, he gonna beat the life out of David Benavidez, and y'all gonna see he was nothing more than a young hater who wanted to just who wanted Canelo's life without putting the work in. Telling you, Ja's gonna hurt him bad,
bro. That's what I'm glad you said that because me and Clay talk about this privately all the time too about how I'll respect the Benavidez, man, but I think that Jai Alpataya, Benavidez should know this too because it happened to him at 168. But Jai Alpataya is the most avoided boxer in the entire world in the last year and a half, dude. All he's done is fight his mandatories, and there's not enough money you could give them to want to fight this guy because he puts you in a hospital, right? And Gilberto Ramirez being and Clay knows I'm a little mad about it, but I'm like, look, bro, you are weak. Like that's some weak ass shit. You got 2 belts and you don't want to fight the guy who can unify and give you guys the Ring magazine. So I think that this was one of the many reasons why Jai signed with Zuffa. Obviously everybody knows that Australia is a UFC territory. It's one of the most popular sports there, so it makes sense for Jai. But at the end of the day, there's the rumors about McCaleb. So my theory, BVO, on this is I don't know if Dana is all the way open to letting cruiserweight.
I got a treat for y'all. Go ahead, man. I got a treat.
Yeah, but you got to remember before the event, they had a face-off with Noel and
no. Listen. The face-off, dude. That's with Versace. That got nothing to do with Dana. Dana does his own shit, right? That's just Versace doing Versace Ring magazine stuff. But my theory is that Dana will 100% help promote the event. If it is some kind of cruiserweight, I think they're going to find a way to be respectful enough to the IBF and the WBC that they'll do some kind of mention. But I don't know if Dana's going to allow those two belts to be a part of his production per se.
I agree.
And so
His manager came out and said that was part of the deal.
Yeah, so
his manager came out and said that's part of the deal.
Wait, but part of the deal doesn't mean that Dana's going to facilitate it.
Exactly.
It could mean that he's going to get out the way.
Get out of the way. Exactly.
He's going to allow Jabba to go do his thing. That doesn't mean that I'm going to facilitate my platform as a space where there's going to be unification of sanctioning body belts inside my ring.
Exactly. And that's what I'm trying to say.
I only said that because you see what they're doing with Usyk, and you see that's still in talks, but it seems like Turkey is still understanding that I gotta have the alphabet game to get what I want to get out of boxing. I think
I don't know. I don't know if that's the case, BBO, but I do know that Dana White, he walks his own drum beats, right? He does his own thing. At one point, you guys have to remember last year, him and Turkey kind of went at it. And Nick Khan had to be the one in the middle that put it all together to make sure everything is okay. So Dana's not bending the knee to anybody. All right.
We see him be doing casinos, man, with his wife. So you absolutely right.
Dana's basically he's dancing to what the rhythm is right now until the Ali revival gets
right. HLD.
He's got to play the game. That's what it is. He can't go ahead and do whatever he wants right now because he doesn't have the law backing him up. So he's going to have to play the game as what the music is on the dance floor right now.
HLD, you mentioned that too, and you're absolutely right. What I'm trying to say though is, let's say it's me, and I'm in charge of Paramount Plus. And I'm the one that's putting out content, and I'm trying to teach casual fans to not worry about all these other belts. All I want them to care about is my Zuffa belt when it finally comes out, and the Ring Magazine belt, which is the one that matters the most. That's the Super Bowl of it all. The whole goal of getting to my Zuffa belt is so that you could eventually get a shot at the Super Bowl, Holy Grail, which is the Ring Magazine belt. What I can see happening on March 8th, if McCallan is the opponent, is Dana will be like, yep, we're absolutely promoting it. It's at Meta Apex. This is for the Ring Magazine Championship between Jai Apataya and Noel McCallan. And he won't make a mention of IBF or WBC. And at that point, again, who could you really stop?
I don't even think it's like that, though. I think they're going to play two games. They're going to have Zuffa and they're going to have Ring Magazine. So they take both sides of the market all to themselves. I think it's going to be two different brands, two different things. And the ring belt is to eliminate the four sanctioning bodies. And then Zuffa is just another brand in itself. That's a good
point, HLD.
That's the game.
I think if you think the belts has been around for, we're talking about in some cases over 60 years, you think you're going to get rid of them belts overnight? That's a farce, man. Dana's powerful, but he's not that powerful.
We're not saying it's getting no. We didn't say we're getting rid of it. We're not saying we're getting rid of it. We're saying that it's their prerogative because it's their TV content as to whether or not they want to promote said belts, right? So that's why but
you making it seem as if he can do what he did in the UFC. It can't be all Dana's way. Or you won't give people like Usyk. In order to sell this thing boxing wise, you gotta have the names people already know. Because I'm gonna tell you about the people that watch boxing like us hardcore.
That's why he keeps. They
already invested.
But
they already invested.
But that's why they.
Hold on. Let me say something, then you say something, bro. Because we're talking over each other. Once I finish, then you go. Then I'll go after you. So what I'm saying is this. When you're talking about getting rid of these belts, it's something that could happen, but I don't think it'll happen right away, and I don't think Dana's going to buck because the first thing out of Jai Obachai's father's mouth was that we were guaranteed to be undisputed, and no one would get in the way of that. He didn't say that by accident. So that's all I'm saying. But go ahead.
But that's because Zuffa Boxing cannot introduce none of their belts as of today. So they're playing the game as it is today. But that will change once and if they do get the Ali Revival Act changed. Now, what's in play today? This next coming Saturday right now that we got coming out, what is it called? It's called the Ring 6 card. It's Ring 6. So, and that's why I'm saying they're gonna be playing. They're double dipping, is what they're doing. They're playing. They got their Ring Magazine card, which is to take over that side of the independency of boxing, and then Zuffa, which is the corporation of one belt. That's what they're gonna be doing, and they're gonna and that's the vision. That's why it's Dana White's running a Zuffa, Turkey's running Ring. They're not the same people, even though they kind of are getting from the same amount of money somewhere behind all the scenes.
I think y'all give Dana way too much effing credit. The Fertittas are the reason UFC did so well. I know everybody wants to give Dana all this extra credit, but the Fertittas were geniuses, man.
No, the Fertittas were just the geniuses. The Fertittas were the bank. The Fertittas are Turkey.
Read his book. Read his book.
My man did everything.
Because he set it up just like his restaurants.
Yes, but no, it was because of what Dana White did. He's the one with the vision to have these guys come and buy UFC. He's the one who started this, and that's why he's still the man.
He started UFC? Get out of here, man. You don't even know what you're talking about.
He's the one with the vision to buy him out. He bought them.
Listen,
for $2 million.
He bought him for $2 million. Listen, let's be clear, right? The Fertitta brothers came from a very successful family, second generation money, right? Their father was a big deal. Dana knew them, saw the UFC, and saw it as a raw product that was not legal here in America. He went to the Fertitta brothers, who he was friends with, and was like, yo, I think this shit right here is going to cook. I'm just telling you, you can get it for the low. They pulled the trigger. The Fertittas pulled the trigger as far as the money is concerned. Dana is the brain, though. He's the brainchild. He's the one with the vision. He's the one with the passion. He's the one who saw everything. Let me tell you how much Dana White is worth, why he should get his flowers. When the UFC got sold, right, was sold off, and Dana got his piece, what did the UFC do? They hired that motherfucker back. They gave him his money and his shares, and they didn't get rid of him. They said, we want you to stay because he's a fucking good businessman, bro. People try to, in a way, when you're speaking, it's like you're painting him as a mascot or as a face of something that's way bigger than himself. No, Dana's really like that. And people who are sleeping on that, they're going to find out in the Zuffa boxing situation the way he's doing it. He's like that. He is experienced. He's a businessman. He's a guy with the passion. He's a guy who pulls the triggers. Did you hear how he treated TKO when they asked him about TKO at the press conference? Yo, like your TKO influencing in your shit? He says, what are you talking about? He says, TKO. He goes, yeah, nah. When I tell them to give me money, they give me money. Other than that, they ain't got nothing to do with this. Dana deserves his flowers. Ain't nobody stroking his ego or trying to, like, you know what I mean, meat mush him or nothing like that. The truth of the matter is the man is a very successful businessman, and he's probably the best number one tried, true, proven promoter in combat sports right now.
Right. And what I'll add to it, HLD, real quick, is that if I understand the pushback from boxing people more so, because if you didn't get in the beginning of UFC and understood how it grew and really like watch it weekly, pay attention to it, not a casual, but somebody who's really paid attention to it, then you don't really understand how influential Dana White has been as a promoter. Then you don't really get it. And that's okay, right? Like that's okay because it's not your sport. You don't want to watch it. But it's the same as if an MMA person were to try to clown on Al Heyman, let's say, without them really knowing the information. What we're telling you, though, is there's at least one person in this panel that knows that the information extremely well. And Dana White deserves every single credit. And if you guys ever want to watch certain footages, when UFC first was really promoting, I remember they did this show, I think it was in Minnesota, right? First time ever it's going to be in Minnesota. And at that time, because it was being talked about as human cockfighting, they were doing protests. Like people were literally protesting, this sport shouldn't be around. This is terrible. So Dana White was such a baller. Like you see this footages, if you guys want to look it up. He's young and skinny, and he's looking at the camera and he goes, hey, so they're protesting our first fight here in Minnesota at UFC, and I'm going to go talk to these guys. And he walks into the protest crowd and he just starts asking them really good qualifying questions as to why they believe what they believe. And then you hear them talking. And then by the end of it, Dana pretty much turns them all around. And it was like, oh, well.
You're like, who are you anyway? You're like, I'm the owner. They're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. So, I mean,
my only thing with Dana is, go ahead, man.
I'm just saying that the reason you got, I respect Dana. I don't say you have to. I respect it because he didn't come from money. Mm-hmm. He had a vision and he went for it, and he got all the connections to build this conglomerate of a company that's UFC now, and he made it work from the ground up. No white privilege, none of that bullshit. He had to go and grind it out. You know, when nobody wanted to give him anything, that's why he's good friends with Trump as it is right now today. Nobody wanted to give him no arenas. Guess what? Trump said he talked to him and like, all right, you can have it here at my casino. We'll make it happen here. And guess what? The man has big balls to make shit happen. When nobody wanted to have, when everything was closed during COVID, this man did not care. I'm going to give you UFC product, and he made it happen. No, nothing, no bullshit. This man knows what he's doing. I respect him. There's nothing I can say. I respect him.
I would just say this. I like how you slid in the whole white privilege thing. At the end of the day, man, you can say what you want. If you're broke in America and you white, you like a cop with no gun. And I'm gonna leave it at that. All I'll say is this: if you look at what everything you see that Dana's doing is the same stuff Don King gets vilified for. The same stuff. Being sued, going back and forth. You even got a class action suit. I think it's funny how it was celebrated with him, but Don's a piece of shit. That's the stuff. That's the only thing I hate about it. And I didn't talk to Terrible Tim. I didn't talk to all these guys who've been under Don. And from what I've heard, Don is not nearly as bad. You got freaking Francis Ngannou fighting for wanting to be in boxing. The whole thing about the promoters, that's another subject. I'm saying the person. I'm not trying to say a mascot. I'm saying from what I look as me playing in the NFL, I would never want to work with a guy that does the kind of stuff that he does, because you got to sue him for your money unless you are a top 1% guy. But I love what he's doing with giving boxing the middle class. But all I'm saying is y'all praise him, but y'all denigrate Don King for doing the same shit. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, nobody denigrate his own people, man.
Yeah, nobody brought up Don King.
Hey, let me say this. Let me say this.
Go ahead, George.
Dana, I think this is boxing, right? It's not the UFC. I think they're gonna make some tweaks on the way. They're gonna make some tweaks because Turkey understand boxing. So, like you said, you got the ring card, and I definitely think that's in cahoots. Like HLD saying, you got ring, you got they cornering the market. So I think it's gonna be some adjustments made. And Dana White said, I might have overtalked myself talking about it can't be no unification. So he already said it. They already know they might have to loosen up the reins just a little bit. You know what I mean? To make it work. But I'm gonna say this: if we ask ourselves what's wrong with boxing, why did it slide from the top? And most people would say because the guys don't fight no more. I don't understand having a sport where guys choose their own fights. That's like the worst thing I ever heard of when it comes to a sport. So I've said before on here, Clay, that if you want to make the sport great, you have to play for losses. And people don't understand what that means. So I want to give an example that when you watch the NFL, who get the best pick in the draft? The worst team. Why? Because they're trying to make sure that nobody dominates at the top, because no team is going to be bigger than the NFL. The NFL is the A side. And when Zuffa comes, Zuffa is the A side. They're not going to let the athletes get bigger than the sport. That's going to make the sport grow. I get it. If you want to kind of pamper the athletes or whatever, I understand. They may not have as much control or individuality that they have now, but the sport itself is going to grow because of the uniformity. We're going to understand what the champion is. We ain't going to have to figure out which of the 4 or 5 champions and interim champions and all this crap to figure out who the champion is. We're going to know who's the best, and people are going to follow it very much easy. It's going to be very easy to follow, going to be very understandable, and he's going to take the workhorses at the top, and he's going to crash them together, and that's going to create excitement that we don't get now when guys can say, I don't want to fight him. Or the guys that they say, oh, you're a really good fighter, but I can't sell you, so we need to get you out of sport because you don't sell. Well, Zuffa is going to take all that talent and just say, go be talented. We're going to promote it. Don't worry about you selling individually. You don't have to sell. Zuffa's going to promote it and sell it. You just go be great. Just go be great. Now think of how many boxers going to get that even shake now when it's just about their ability in the ring, not their ability to be a salesman.
Yeah, and also, and I love that. Therese, what you just said was right on point.
That was really cool.
As far as what Don King and the Dana White comparison is concerned, one doesn't have to be against the other one. Don King could have done what he did in his season with the resources he was provided, and Don King has earned his reputation amongst fighters throughout the space. We're not up here bashing Don King. We never brought up Don King. But at the end of the day, Dana White shouldn't be underneath the scrutiny of not being celebrated because Don King wasn't celebrated. That's two different eras, two different people, two different time zones. They can coexist in the same space as needle movers in the boxing space. They both did. They all played their position. If Don King has a bad reputation, go yell at Mike Tyson. Go yell at Zab Judah. Go yell at those guys who go on record to say that this dude was a piece of shit. That's not us to discuss or figure out. But it doesn't come up. It doesn't make sense to bring him up in a conversation about Dana White and what he's doing. We got to judge Dana White on what he's doing right now and whether it's working or it's not working. Dana White is leveled up the game. He's opened up the training facility with the UFC. He's giving nutrition. He's giving out therapy. He's providing these fighters with health insurance during the fights. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. If you're going to judge him accordingly. But to dismiss everything that he's doing that positively affected combat sports and turn it into, I'm not going to celebrate him because Don King, who was doing what he did back in the day and who you feel like was similar, I guess, to Dana White in some kind of way, didn't get celebrated, that now I'm going to hate on him. No, bro. You know, that's a thing in our culture that I find to be toxic at times, is our inability to get over shit and look forward. The forward thing is boxing needs a push. Boxing needs broadcasting networks to get back into boxing. Al Heyman couldn't get it done with the PBC. Top Rank can't get it done right now. They're about to stream Xander Zayas and Baras Abaru on Tubi. Matchroom put on an event Saturday. You can judge it for what you want as far as production is concerned. ESPN's gotten out of boxing. Showtime's gotten out of boxing. Here comes Paramount saying, we're willing to give boxing another chance, meaning that they bought Showtime. We like Dana White. We like what he's done, and we think he can duplicate it. And if he can, we're willing to bet on that. That's a win for Robert Merriweather III. That's a win for Julian Gonzalez. That's a win for young fighters like Carmel Moulton, Jalil Hackett, all these other young fighters who may have nowhere to go. Robert Garcia's whole entire roster of fighters. That's a win for those guys. It's not about Dana White getting celebrated. It's about boxing being celebrated. It's about the opportunity that boxing is getting right now. And we make it so much about Dana or Don or a person or Al Heyman or whatever. It's not about that. It's about boxing growing. It's about young fighters getting opportunity. And it's about this sport becoming more structured. It's about checking those boxes, closing those holes, one hole at a time, and making this sport more fair in equal opportunity across the board for all fighters, one step at a time. And Dana right now is the one who has the biggest opportunity in boxing right now to do something special, because the networks that we want to be invested in boxing see Dana White as something they can invest in. And that's all it comes down to. Everything else is just an arguing point to do what? Don't celebrate Dana for what? He's the face of the movement that is moving Robert Merriweather right now and put $50,000 in his account for a bonus account for a performance he did. It's the movement right now that just took Julian Rodriguez from being an MVP fighter who was making less than $100,000 for a fight, $60,000 I think is what he got paid for his last fight, and now he walked away with $200,000+ from this fight because he got $150,000 in bonuses and like $70,000 to $90,000 up front for the fight he was in. We're hating on their opportunity when we sit here and make this all about Dana. When we make this all about Dana, you're shitting on them. They're looking at you guys as fans and being like, fuck these dudes, because y'all hating on me for what? So we should keep boxing where it's at, where I'm not getting no opportunities so that Don King stays celebrated? So that fucking Al Heyman fucking holds his fucking spot as a black fucking savior in boxing. Fuck all of you dudes.
Ironically.
Where am I?
Okay.
Where do I fit into this equation? Where do I get my money and my opportunity? Where's a big argument for me getting an opportunity to fight? So fuck all that. Tear Zuffa down and let's celebrate and keep these motherfucking powers that be the Oscar De La Hoyas, the Eddie Hearns, the Al Haymans. Let's keep them in position to extort us, tell us we ain't shit, we don't sell enough, we're not pretty enough, we don't have enough cool clothes, we don't fucking sit enough asses in seats. Let these motherfuckers continue to run this fucking sport while the whole entire world is moving past us. We didn't even medal in the last Olympics, bro. Eastern Europeans are whooping our asses in the ring. We were getting exposed. Every time we get on a big show, we get on a big stage and make a big fight, we getting our ass spanked, belted ass. We ain't developing. We're not fighting each other. We're not making the big fights. We're extorting the fucking fans. Look at what Oscar De La Hoya tried to just pull right now with Virgil Ortiz and fucking Jerome Boots Ennis. Now, this conversation is way bigger than Dana fucking White, bro. It's not about Dana White. But the more we make it about that, the more we're cutting our nose off to spite our own fucking face as boxing fans. I want to bring up.
Well, hold on, Clay. Well said. Before you bring him up, official announcement: full card for Zuffa Boxing Sunday, February 1st on Paramount Plus, starting at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. We already know the main card, which is Jose Valenzuela versus Diego Torres, Sergey Bochuk versus Radza Butayev, Alexander Vozdik versus Hot Rod Kaladzik. In the prelims, the main event, we will have him on as a special guest along with his father tomorrow on our special edition of ATP Combat. Jaleel Hackett will be fighting Robert Cruz 10 rounds at 160 pounds, making his middleweight debut. He is the main event of the prelims, which actually works out perfect for his timing because East Coast, that'll be like right at the prime time. Right underneath him, the co-main event of the prelims is Oscar Perez versus Justin Valoria in an 8-rounder at 135 pounds. Right before that is Damani Cotto Cain versus Christian Morales, 8 rounds. They're doing like this weird catch weight at 157, but I think that they're essentially, it's a welterweight, but I think it's a catch weight at 150. Then right before that is heavyweights. Check this one out, Clay. You're gonna like this one, bro. Julian Gomez versus Demazian Van Hooter. You know who that is, Clay, right? Van Hooter, if I'm wrong, isn't that somebody that we're familiar with? Demazian Van Hooter. No. I thought Demazian Van Hooter was on an MVP card. I'll have to look it up, but
Yes.
Yes. I thought
that's
this
crazy.
Guy.
He's gonna be fighting on Zuffa.
He's on Zuffa, bro.
Wow.
The heavyweight. Hey. So Julian Gomez versus Demazian Van Hooter, and the opener of Sunday, February 1st, for all the NFL fans who are clamoring for football but will be watching Zuffa Boxing instead, is opening with Jamar Talley versus Devontae Williams, and this is an interesting one. This is at 200 pounds. So maybe they are open to doing cruiserweight, Clay. I don't know. But it's going to be at 200 pounds, 6 rounds. That is the full card, according to Dan Rayfield. Again, everybody tune in tomorrow for a very special edition of Mr. Bernard Hackett and Jaleel Hackett, I believe we're going to be the first interviews of them finally getting a chance to talk about all stuff, contract, how they've been treated, hotels, nutrition.
They're gonna join the club. Join the club, right?
Join the club, y'all. And then again, go ahead, Clay.
Wait, hold on. Let me bring in my guy H-Town in the building, man. I know he was waiting in the background, been so patient. By the way, I appreciate everybody on the panel. The patience, not talking over each other. I know people hear shit that they just want to. I know there's people in here who's biting it. I appreciate it. I really understand, and I appreciate that you guys take the time to be patient with the channel and allow this to be a place for voices to be heard, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, guys. H-Town, what's good with you, family?
Mic check. What's up, Clay? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're doing good, man. You made your presence felt here, bro. Now I know we made
it,
baby. We made it, baby.
Sir.
It was good,
man. Clay, I hear the super talk. I hear the super hate. I got to show up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and a lot of people, and especially I hate to single out, a lot of Black America has a problem with Dana because the bald head, the white guy, he looks like a skinhead. You got people like John Jones that were complaining about their money, and nobody remembers that he wanted $40 million to fight a guy. He wanted to get paid what Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury were getting paid when he's never commanded that kind of money ever. Yes, he's the best, but he was like Bud. His fan base wasn't out there. He's not on social media. He's not out there promoting himself, you know, and he didn't command that type of money. But people don't understand this guy has made a lot of money too. John Jones is on a compound. He's got attack dogs. He got all the guns in the world, multiple cars. The guy's not broke. People are acting like UFC stars are broke because Justin Gaethje is out here complaining, holding a personal vendetta against Dana because he wouldn't take his goddamn gloves that Trevor Whitman and him invented, and they thought they were going to be millionaires off of, and that was going to be the official glove of the UFC. So he's over here hating, and yet again, who had another title opportunity raised this weekend?
Yep, exactly. And because at the end of the day, and again, you have to understand how the UFC works. You're ranked where you're ranked, and you're gonna get a shot at a fight, right? They're not like some people will say, oh, this person got jumped, right? That's kind of their banner right now, H-Town. They're like, oh, Arman got jumped. Arman didn't get jumped. He did the Khalil Ko. And even Khalil Ko's about to get kicked out by Matchroom. At least Dana's not kicking out Arman. He's like, I'm going to give him, he'll probably be a part of the White House week or something. I don't know.
Right. He just gave him he checked his temperature. He brought him down to earth. Like, hey, humble yourself. I don't know if this is significant or not. Miss Van Houter, who is she saying? We're saying his name wrong.
Van Houter?
I went to the channel. It's a lot of followers. Is this really Miss Van Houter? Is this like the mother, the wife, the girlfriend, the sister?
It says Mrs., so I don't think Damazian's married.
Or is that a girlfriend? I went to the channel, and the channel is it's got like almost 4,000 subscribers. Only 367 videos on it. So, and it's all about him. It's his videos. It's his training.
Awesome.
It's his videos.
Well,
go to it, you guys know.
Yeah, can we just say congratulations on being a part of Zuffa Boxing? That's awesome. We're looking forward to having you in Las Vegas, and really looking forward to having him show out. That's amazing.
Yeah, the channels are all dedicated to him, man. It's a lot of followers. It's a young channel.
Clay, you know what's ironic? What's ironic about this whole Don King comparison? I just want to close this chapter. On my part, I say this: that Dana White himself said, out of his mouth, he wants to bring Zuffa Boxing to the level of the heydays of Bob Arum and Don King.
Yes, he did.
You know what I mean? So he's giving him the credit of because you cannot deny the impact of what Don King has done. Yeah, he's had a lot of negative publicity by his own fighters, but the impact for us consumers, he's tremendous. We cannot deny what he's brought for us. So I mean, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, people gotta. I try to encourage people, and I don't need people liking Dana White. That's not what this is about. I'm not here to defend Dana. You know what I mean? I'm really not. But I just want you guys to know, man, this is about boxing. This is about the fighters, man, and the opportunities there, bro. And by the way, all of these fucking promoters are pieces of shit in their own right. You go to these fighters, you got fighters who can sit down and be like, fuck that dude. Here's my story. Period. Right? There's gonna be fighters who can come on this platform and be like, that guy. Fuck that guy. Let me tell you what happened with me and that guy. Whether it's Al, where's Bob? Let me tell you what he did to me and my team. Fuck him. You know what I mean? They're going to be able to come up with stories, bro. It is what it is, man. The fighters.
And he said it himself. He said it himself this week. He said, look, man, there's people that I don't like. There's a lot of them that they don't like me. But I still work with him. It is what it is. And we said, he said it himself.
HLD, if I run around New York right now, bro, I probably could bring a couple people up here and gonna be like, let me tell you, but this motherfucker HLD. This motherfucker.
No, me?
You guys are talking to this cool guy who's talking boxing. Let me tell you about this piece of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Claymore.
Hold on real quick, too. Mrs. Van Hooter, if you are still on the chat, we would absolutely love to have Maserati on. Mom. Yes. Okay. Yeah, mom Van Hooter, Maserati's mom. We would absolutely love to have him on the show. Again, tomorrow we're going to have Jaleel Hackett and Bernard Hackett talking about their experience with Zuffa Boxing. Claymore's already interviewed Julian Rodriguez, Robert Merriweather. So we would absolutely love to have the young man on the show. Me and Clay are both fans of Maserati. We love.
Oh, damn! His dad is up here. Damn!
There we go.
Awesome.
We can have the entire family on the show. Please, I don't know. I don't think they have. I'll type in a way for us to get in touch with each other, or I'll get in touch with you guys.
Have them on so they could correct him or any of us who are saying the name wrong.
I'm gonna call him Maserati until I say the last name right. But
and then you guys can tell us how to say the name when you come up here. You can give us the pronunciation.
Yeah, you can tell us the correct way. Yeah. But no, Maserati, this kid, the Mazion. I hope I'm saying that right. The Mazion, he is a talent that we were all excited about because we want an American heavyweight. The young man's only 21 years old, 10 wins, 8 knockouts. But what does it tell you, Clay, when he chooses Zuffa over most valuable promotions, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's an opportunity.
Hey, Reyes, let me get this out. I'm about to hop off, guys. But everybody wants to the whole Al Heyman thing. Look how they treated Al Heyman. Dude, Al Heyman took the money from the networks and gave it to the fighters, and everybody praises him. They're like, he was giving the most money to the fighters. But I don't remember that Al Heyman was working at Loophole as an advisor. On these fighters are paying him. Okay, so he's getting all the money to the fighters that's coming right back to him. And he's not making no money for the networks. That's why they went from network to network to network. Now, when he exhausted his avenues, or should we say, as he did not pay the plug, and there is no more plugs, and the plugs don't want to work with him. Now people are like, oh, it was racism. No, man, this dude didn't make no money for nobody. He made money for himself. The guy that came out with the most money of all those deals is Al Heyman. That's why he never showed his face, and he was never in the public, because he's the one making all the money. He worked at Loophole as an advisor because he's not a manager, so there's no tampering, there's no nothing. No, I'm just advising, brother. I ain't no manager. I ain't no promoter, But who's keeping all the money? It's going right back to him. Name one PBC fighter outside of Tank that's living well right now that didn't fight Canelo.
Earl's getting money. Earl got money.
But not that. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but Benavidez is already moving up, bro. He was already like, those guys are two guys that like, even Earl. You can't say Earl's doing as great as he should be for the amount of fame he had.
Yeah.
Look at the UFC. You know who Donald Cerrone is?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Look, that guy was never even as let's say we compare him to Earl in boxing. He's Gabe Rosado. Yeah,
he's rich as fuck.
And this dude owns a compound. He's got all this shit, all these businesses, all this money, living like a king. This man had he redid his face, redid his teeth. The dude looking like a model now outside of fighting. He's got a TRT, jacked. I mean, like these guys got money. Like, I don't know how people would think these UFC fighters. These are low tier guys. I bring him up because he's a low tier guy. Even Justin Gaethje is a low tier guy. He's not a star that was undefeated.
He made $3 million.
Yeah,
he made $3 million.
Yeah, like these are not guys that are like they're complaining, but this is not like Ronda Rousey, McGregor, Silva. Those are your Floyds, your Canelos of UFC. And the guys that supposedly are broke, dude, they're living great lives. Aside for Stephan Bonner, who had an addiction to drugs,
right?
Who he pretty much he beat his life. He was on that Adrian Broner, and he was addicted to painkillers, which is a sad story. He wasted all his money on painkillers and on drugs, and that's sad in itself. But hey, those are the stories of combat sports. You know,
everybody now everybody walks that line, you know what I mean, and lives a lifestyle all the way to the core. Hold on a second. To the Van, I'm gonna give it another shot. Van Houders.
I sent the dad I sent the dad my contact. And he's like he says he's gonna get in touch with me and I'll take care of it, Clay. You know that's what I do, bro.
So. No. That's what I was done. Trust me. That's what I want to know. I just want them to know that I saw them. But if you got it, that's what's up.
Yeah. No. I'll what I'll try to do is if we do an extended show. Oh, did you cut out, Clay?
No,
Are you you're muted, right? Oh, I cut out. Weird. Okay.
I mean, no, you're here. But I'm saying whatever you felt or saw happened to you. It didn't happen to the show. It didn't happen to the people.
Weird. Weird, man. I'm having that weird time again.
Hey, Clay Reyes, thanks for having me on, brother. I mean, I got a lot more to say, but, single dad life, I got to tend my son and be responsible. That's bullshit, responsibility. But, I got to get through it, fellas, man. Hey, man. Salute, guys.
Salute, H-Town. Thanks. No, I was gonna say. So tomorrow might, if depending on your time frame, because I know you got your shifts and whatnot.
Night job.
But we might have
come on a little earlier. Maybe I might come on.
Yeah, we might do it. Maybe we'll do an extended. Let me get a hold of the Van Hooters, and maybe we'll do an extended show. We'll interview the Van Hooters for one, and then we'll interview the Hacketts for another, and then that way we already have both planned. So I'll get in touch with them though.
And shout out to Julian Rodriguez, his manager, who's been in communication with me. It looks like that he's pushing it out probably to next week. Everybody in Vegas right now is having a hard time getting back to New York and Philly and New Jersey and all that because of the weather. So the traveling has been altered a lot. They were going to try to come on this week, but it's really complicated. But he's going to try for early next week. But yeah, man, shout out to all of the boxers in the world, bro. Period, man. I said this on The Voice with Ness. I say here on the show, fans, you guys are at a crossroads. And I know in the traditional sense of celebrating boxing, it's all been about the promotional companies. Premier Boxing Championships, Top Rank, all this, and which is all been great, right? But the fighters, don't forget the fighters. And the idea that we would ever redline a platform that was showcasing fighters to go at a promoter, make up your mind on what side of the conversation you're on. Here on the ATP Combat Media Show, the Boxing Take with your boy Rain, we here for the fighters, bro. And we celebrating fighters getting opportunities over here. We're not doing shit else. I'm not here to fight no civil rights or no fucking Don King, no damn Al Heyman. I don't give a fuck about no black boxing or whatever the fuck the narrative is. Excuse my language. I'm here about boxing, bro. I'm not here for none of that other nonsense. Y'all keep that shit. That shit's for the birds, bro. Shout out to boxing. Boxing's doing great. We're heading into a great boxing weekend. Friday night, Pro Box. We up. Saturday, we up. Matchroom in the morning. We up. Ring Magazine in the evening. And then Sunday, we're going to get it all together. And we're going to cover this Zuffa boxing. You heard? Let's get it. Appreciate all you guys, man.
No doubt.
I appreciate all you guys, man. Hold on a second here. Remind me later. I appreciate all you guys. It's been a great show. We ran almost 3 hours. It's been a while. You guys know I've been trying to keep this under 2. You know what I'm saying? But the conversation was great. Shout out to Greg Hackett for showing up early today and giving us some perspective on what happened over the weekend with Jesse Hart and Khalil Cole, and also just sharing perspective on the space. Shout out to Too Rich Boxing. I respect the belts. Coming up here, man. Every time we get you up here, family, it's a privilege, man. It's a pleasure to have you sharing the perspective. My guy HLD, thank you for supporting and helping all the time, contributing to the content as well. And until the next one, you guys know how we carry it. At this point, we out.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say. I got them picking up the pieces. That mean you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like, hold up. I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this go up. You know it's all net when it go.
Oh, hey, yo, people in the building, if you haven't done it yet, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so yet, and like the damn show. We cooking, man.
Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. Over time, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same.
Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming,